to a Sunday stream, but this is only a Sunday stream day and everything. It has been a while. We have a Sky who's decided to join us for see how well that lasts. So, now that I've gotten everyone a bit quieter from our chaos, let us begin with the new intro. Hello, welcome back to the chaos that is us.
Everyone wave.
Right, so previously you guys had awakened from your strange coma dream, except for Johnny, who's just probably in some sort of weird coma. Immediately realising you were back in the battlefield, Luggage leapt into action and charged forwards at the remaining units at the entrance or the exit to the trial.
Almost died on the way.
I was wondering what was going on there.
Gotcha.
Subtle. Luckily, a couple of people came to back me up.
After the beginnings of Luggage realising he was dying and some of the other players realising, oh, Luggage is out there, they all slowly, bit by bit, joined into the combat, and Luggage came close to death about 3 times, I think, if I was keeping track of your health. You were single digits, like lower single digits at least 3 times.
His arc reactor was failing.
You guys then proceeded to briefly regroup and then immediately take out the remaining units that were hiding out under the bridge. Except for one wizard who you guys decided to keep alive, who was freaking out, and you basically beat the crap out of everyone else, and he is essentially unconscious. Or at least close to that stage.
I required a prisoner, so I got one.
But we've got multiple now.
I feel like whenever we listen to like someone
And the guy on top of
this is how it goes, like we're just sitting on the background poking each other in the face.
Out of fear.
That's a servant, not a
Okay, yeah.
prisoner.
You've still got a servant.
Yeah.
I will claim my servant.
Sorry.
I'm having a brief technical difficulty because
they're the heroes of champions.
things that I need to open up to say what's going on are not opening. So,
That's right.
for
Do you want us
this
to shit
brief
talk?
Stop looking character.
so,
We all play darts.
roll!
I would like to go over and slap Henry because he's still asleep.
Yeah, sleep. Go for it.
There's a brief thing I need to point out. Johnny in the last game, we had come to the conclusion he was drunk and was passing his saves. I've also realised that he actually isn't drunk. He only thinks he's drunk. He still has about 10 to 12 days left of being impervious to being drunk.
Who was riding your head?
I just found some pipe weed and
The Goblin character that I play.
So yeah, you guys have
For our new viewers.
you have
Be nice if you were.
So you guys have literally just finished this fight. Fitz is on top of the main marketplace area with Falcor. and a few units who from the container you guys were in have sort of ventured out now. Luggage and I think Johnny and Drew were all downstairs, and you wouldn't.
Downstairs, we were underneath
you were
under the bridge.
Yeah, you guys,
Okay.
you were downstairs under the bridge. So you guys have just finished defeating. Fitz hadn't moved down because Fitz left, so Fitz stayed out.
You got left behind.
So
What? I bro.
With the bear.
Yeah.
Bear with
So
us.
you guys have just finished beating off these guys, and everything kind of it falls sort of to a
Oh, okay. There's something different.
yeah, and eerie quiet has taken
Luggage
place.
walks up and stops me real quick. No, we defeated them.
I guess we should take this prisoner to the other prisoner.
Oh yeah,
Picking
is
him
the
up.
general still out cold?
Sure.
Whatever his name
Oh,
is.
Quentin.
Yeah.
Quentin was
He was out of it.
he dropped down basically unconscious
He was sleeping.
after the incident. It's only been about 2 or 3 minutes since that happened.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of shit talking last game.
Can I stick my fingers up his nose to wake him up?
Hold
You
on.
have to go back there.
God, it went to
So-
nose.
The remaining wizard guy who was cowering below you guys is still cowering at the moment. And
I had used a non-lethal to knock him unconscious.
you had used a non-lethal to knock him unconscious, right? No,
I stick my fingers
Tied
up
him up.
his nose.
Now put him on my shoulder, ready to carry him back to the container to drop him next to his other buddy.
so
Alright, we're
We've
following
already
you.
got one prisoner that I knocked out from before we went on the vision.
That's
Oh,
still
yeah.
the container.
Yeah. The other guy who
collecting people.
Well, that
I mean,
one, that
prisoners
one's
of
just
war.
a fighter. That one's kind of important. He looks fancy, so that one might be able to tell us stuff. And that one can't.
True. Better clothes and more info.
He looks fancy.
Plus, I'm not a murderer.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to try and
then he
kill
knows
him. That I can remember. Yeah.
Somebody give me a dice. I need to put fingers up my nose.
Someone give me a dice. I need to cut
Thank you.
fingers. I need to cut fingers off a hand.
Alright, when I'm ready. 15. What would we call fingers up nose?
A 10.
It depends.
Technically,
Who
we
you
want
put
a
the fingers up the
success.
nose on?
The guy that's...
Quentin?
Yeah.
You don't have to roll for that because he's technically incapacitated, so it would be an immediate hit no matter what you were doing to him.
But what if he stumbles and just like puts it into his mouth instead of up his
I'm
eye?
trying to wake him up, so...
You rolled a 13, you should be fine.
I checked him. He was okay.
He was just tired.
He was just sleeping.
Alright.
We walked away intentionally because he was just
My mind
sleeping. I
went
didn't want to
into a
bother
weird
him
place.
after you had already raided his pockets and stolen the booze I'd given him to drink.
Like,
Good weird.
Let's say you stick a
Good
barrel of a gun up his ass, right?
Let's not.
And
Wow, you
his
just went
legs,
from like 0 to
and
100
his legs
right there.
bent, right?
Are you
and you
plan- are you
attach a
planning to do
string
this?
from his leg.
okay, so as you guys are starting to make your way out
to the
of
trigger.
under the-
Oh, when he wakes up and
Yeah.
stretches
you
his leg.
notice a luggage will notice this
I don't know
because they
who
aren't
I'm
actually
more
physically
disappointed
listening.
to
You
each
for
other about
suggesting it
making
or
things
me
up.
knowing where you were going with it?
As you're getting to Quentin,
We're
you
both
notice
destroying
a
the
familiar
same
shop
people like this is I
that
told you
looks
the
like
best.
it was completely
Well,
destroyed.
play,
About
saw.
that way. The shop looked like it was destroyed, but as you notice him open the door, it looks like it's broken an illusion, and the entire shop pings back into completely fine existence. And you also immediately notice there are a bunch of people who are like up against the window and have been watching everything that's been going on. So the shop went from looking empty to suddenly about half the town that was in the marketplace had been hiding in the shop now. And out wanders a very fancy looking man. Sort of walks out and goes, "Oh, I thought it was one of the Humblewood people who were here. No, it was just Johnny."
No.
It is safe now.
"Oh, that is good to know." He turns around and opens the door. "Everybody can come out now." And a bunch of people start crowding out.
It is safe in the marketplace now. There is still attacks on the city.
He stops and turns around and goes, "Okay." Turns back and goes, "Everybody back inside." And then immediately closes the door.
That's fine, I'll stay.
You walking out notice you see there's a bunch of kids who are just kind of sitting at the window who've been kind of watching, and some of them are kind of waving in your direction.
I have waved
Alright.
in the general direction.
Pull faces at them. It looks scary.
Roll me an intimidation.
At disadvantage.
Natural one.
Too bad this
You
cruise can't
are
save
putting a
us.
face up to look scary. all these kids are laughing their faces off. And some of the parents are actually kind of enjoying this. They've gone from being a little freaked. You've actually kind of done the opposite. You've actually calmed a lot of the people down.
You did good.
I took a critical hit to my confidence.
Slap on the back as I see the morale boosting techniques.
Well done.
Good
Don't
work.
say that.
Good work, Johnny.
Fuck you.
If I didn't know you don't know sarcasm, I would think you'll be a dick.
You genuine shithead.
I will drop our unconscious friend in the container.
Next,
Or our unconscious.
next to your conscious tied up friend. Next to your unconscious, not tied up friend.
Fuck, I wish there was a barrel around. I wouldn't just put it in my ass. So it folds.
I mean, I could find one. It's not
You
required.
know, who's the first one to make it to the container? If you're
He
all,
would have
Go
been.
on.
if you're all beeline in that direction.
I think I'm just casually walking beside.
Okay, so you'll be standing in the market area, and Falcon will have seen you, and it's just kind of sitting there.
What is this, a crossover episode?
Falcon.
Falcor will be our
We don't
guide.
have the money for that.
I got the personalities work.
So who is walking up with luggage? Have you all been kind of walking as a group?
I don't see
Yeah,
why
like
not.
Fast and Furious style, walking in a triangle.
Yeah. Some explosions off in the background. It's like,
Children's hospital.
One of the guards turns to Drew, knowing that Drew's being the most coherent one going on. Goes, is everything okay?
True.
is everything
I mean,
okay?
it's a bit of a loaded question.
I mean, you all like there was massive amounts of like exploding noises and fire and stuff over the bridge. And,
You mean the sounds of battle?
yeah, well, that's what I mean. I just want. Is everybody okay? Like, do we have to call a medic or something?
I drop a human in front of him. We are okay.
So we are all walking. We are all fine.
He is unconscious.
Cool.
They are dead.
Next question. What do we do about that? Pointing up to the airship that's been hovering above the market.
Ah, yes.
That's ours.
Uh,
Wait, is it?
my colleague up there is
Yeah,
controlling
that's
that.
It's mine. I wrote my name into it. I mean, I can
yours,
go.
Al's colleague.
Yes.
So it's your colleague.
It belongs to me.
Collective.
It's not going to attack us, basically.
I own it.
Correct.
Unless I tell
Oh,
it
good.
to.
Okay, we don't have to worry about that.
Affirmative. It is not a threat.
That is good. Right.
It is also not assisting, though. There are not enough people on it.
I think he's talking about a cloud.
He's talking about my airship.
Oh, right!
Hey, you're not the one who wrote your name on it.
Luggage.
Own you,
Backwards.
own
Those who aren't arguing, roll me a perception.
Is it armed?
Aren't arguing.
Yeah.
Which is luggage and Drew currently.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, we're not allowed to roll.
11.
I thought it was
16?
us trying to see what we're doing.
Oh, I probably got more.
I do have a passive perception of 10.
No,
Oh,
because
sorry.
you're not passively paying attention.
18.
You're actively arguing.
22.
The lowest I think you can have.
So Fitz is the first to notice this.
Looking through a
but,
scope.
But Aaron and Johnny pick up on it without actually being
Oh, sorry, I got
pointed in the
21.
direction of. Was that?
21. I've got that.
Oh, okay.
Proficiency.
You guys simultaneously notice, and Johnny sort of notice. You guys both look in a direction, sort of looks as
Fuck
well.
you.
You notice a not very heavily armed guard who looks like he's in sort of more of a light armor, sort of more like a city runner, as he bolts down into the marketplace and stops just before the entrance to a few more of the guards that are there and starts talking to them. And you notice these guards who have been actively looking worried almost visibly relax.
It's a trick, fireball.
There's a guy Fitz. You said light armor, he sounds fit.
He is fit. He looks like he's a runner of some kind.
Athletic.
Yeah, but is
Can I roll for
he
strength?
fit?
This is ranking out of 10.
Is he like distracting?
Swipe or not swipe?
I'm about to make you
Swat.
shot, isn't it?
Yeah or nah? Congratulations, there's a guy.
I've given you the information.
I want to have a real uncomfortable conversation with him.
That guard in front of us only had 2 questions, right?
Yeah.
Is what's happened and are we okay with that?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
So he doesn't even know what's going
now
on.
that you guys have started arguing, that guard's actually turned around and he's gone back to Quentin, and he looks like he's sort of helping Quentin get up. Like almost like he's been looking after him since you guys took off.
He's sitting up, it's okay.
Can I call out to the runner guy?
Hey, hot stuff!
Yo, stud! What's the info?
The guard looks over and goes, oh, and bolts in your direction, runs over and goes,
Does he look like Baywatch?
Go roll for slow-mo. Is he glistening in sweat?
He's running, it's hard to tell if he's glistening in sweat, because he's wearing...
Can I roll a perception?
His
a
armor's
perception.
glistening in sweat.
Oh, I got a bit of sweat in my eye. 7.
He just looks like he's been running.
Shit.
He's got that ugly sweat look.
Yeah, he runs over and stops and goes,
The closer he gets in range, the more ugly he is now.
The number's dropping.
Went from like an 8 to a 2.
he runs up and sort of stops at you. He looks like he's actually shorter than you.
Fuck.
He looks like he's
Well, he won't have to
he's
deal.
still shorter than you. He looks like he's sort of like 5'2". Like he looks like a younger kind of guy.
You're not
and,
much
he
taller.
runs up and then looks at you and goes, the orcs and the goblins and all the hobgoblins and things that were attacking up at the north, they're retreating.
Oh, that's good.
And there's no
What's
other
it
signs of
here?
any other attacks. I think they've stopped. I think we've won.
Oh, fantastic.
Or they're underground.
No, they're running away.
I assume they're close enough for us to hear that.
Yeah, he's been talking to Johnny.
Yeah.
You guys.
Just
Okay.
making sure.
Yeah.
Distance.
Roll included.
Yeah.
Does that mean
You're
you're not...
included, but he's talking to Johnny.
Hang
The
on, does that mean
Warforged.
you're not doing anything later?
I mean, I've got to run around and make sure everything else is okay.
Like
I have Weinstein does to put an arm around him.
Have you
when
not
you
got-
go to do that, he will step back from you and go,
God damn it.
Have you not got friends or charm? You could make him.
No, I don't want to. It's more fun this way.
he steps back from you and goes, and then immediately looks over and sees Aaron and goes,
Congratulations for defending your city.
oh, thank you. I'm making the rounds of the motion, make sure everything's okay. We've got one. I've got to go up to the front gate.
He's got a taste,
we-
apparently.
There was something that crashed earlier in the city in the
Some
market,
people like
sort of the
it.
area here.
Oh,
Yes.
It's all
That tells
pointing to
you
the
where this is cool.
chaos behind it.
no, the
It's
shape,
fun.
the chamber thing.
Okay,
Sorry, yeah,
so they
container.
landed over there.
It's
Right,
really-
cool. Let's check down there, and then I'll go to the front gate and this guy just bolts past.
It's like a reverse.
Typing.
It's like a reverse
Hang on
dog
before he runs.
situation.
Okay, roll me a athletics.
The natural
Hang
training.
on.
Cool. You catch him in the run. It's almost like he's doing the
That's
cartoon
definitely
thing,
what I think.
and he stops and goes,
I've never looked down like for 5 years.
You say they have the hobgoblins and goblins have run.
yes. Well, the
There
ones that are
was-
still standing.
There was one of my kind that was with them in an assault, hidden, trapped in a building.
I don't know anything about that. I'm just from the northeast ward.
You would have run almost past them.
I've gone from the northeast to the west and here. I've not actually. I don't know anything about a thing that well, you sorry.
Not walking around the house. He was with the enemy
I
assaulting.
don't know anything about that. Sorry, I'm Roadrunner just goes, thank you. Is there anything else?
As his legs are still running, you
No,
still go down.
he's actually stopped. He's not a complete
I
guy.
flip top lid, pull out a piece of jerky. And hand it to him.
If you don't mind, I'll eat this later. And he just sort of stuffs it into something into his pocket and just bolts off.
You mentioned
That
cash?
takes care of himself.
I gave him the food.
So
I'm
badly.
caring for him.
You're not a man, but try, remember?
It's the sheer chaos that took
We.
So I want to give a funny talking guy some schooling.
Which funny talking guy?
Yes.
Oh,
Right.
I can do that.
Have we haven't given it to a human? Yes. No, we haven't.
No, I'm not.
Tiefling into a.
I'm blue, dude. Come on.
I don't see
I
colour.
was-
I don't see colour.
Yeah, well, you
He's
Like
col-
a doggy.
he's
Don't just
colourblind.
grayscale.
doing your
No, I'm just
story.
not racist.
I was rolling for my penis. It's not good. I'll tell you
I
that.
feel like saying I
That's
don't
right, I'll
see
just get
color
Mikey
is
to
kind of
craft
more
me one.
racist than saying I do see color.
Unless he literally sees in grayscale.
I think we'll just make it easy for grayscale.
I don't see colour.
So-
Oh, you're just being neutral. No, I see in grayscale.
If
I got
that's
hit in
true,
the head
then we
once.
might have difficulty at points where there are colours that need to be determined, and I can't tell.
Tell you what, you see in grayscale whenever you drop below 10 HP.
I would say.
Oh shit, he's gained the ability to see colour.
It's like
Hold on.
video game logic. How your health is based off how much color you can actually see in the world around you.
I'll add
It's
it
like
up.
a circle of red as well.
I also like that he's got like the Pokemon sound effect where he's running out of health.
I'll add an upgrade to a system and we can add colour.
It's like when your
Guys,
phone
forward
goes on
store.
low battery, the light goes down.
Aww, I wish I was the original Alchemist.
I would like.
Friction of his head. You're healed!
I can see a bit better now. Thank you.
The
It made
glass, it
Alchemist
helps.
really lame.
We need to make a decision. Do we go to the king to find out? I assume that's where the main stuff will be going. I'm looking at you, but generally the rest of the group as well, which is in the middle. Or do we resolve the issue of the wandering Warforged?
Go to the king.
The
We'll get
imposter
paid.
Warforged.
That's my argument. Paid, I don't know what for, but kings usually have money.
I don't know what for. Did we just defend the city?
I don't remember. I just killed
You were
some guy.
shoveling arrowheads.
Yeah.
I have my payment, sliding the sword into my hand.
Yeah, so let's go to the king. He's got money. Possibly more sexy soldiers.
May
Male
want
or
more range so I
female.
don't have to do this shit.
I would like to give him an image of a goblin. Like,
Doing what?
yeah.
Oh, no!
You wanted attractive soldiers. I'm sure these goblins, these female goblins that are being hoarded on by all the
Hang
other
on.
goblins are probably attractive to the other goblins.
I'm
You
disappointed,
can
but
tell
I'm
the
into it.
difference.
But I assume the ones that are constantly getting, you know.
I rolled an
I
18.
can't unless
I'm
it's
okay with this.
Oh, no, that one's female.
Um,
Oh, no, I'm not sure
Any-
what that one is.
any other?
I suppose we should check
Oh,
out
sure.
the Warforged.
Got one for
Really
Warforged,
makes
one
sense.
for King.
Those are WoW goblins.
One for Warforged, one for King.
One of the Warforged is the king.
Drew already said we're not going to get paid from a king because the king doesn't do the paying.
Oh, what?
But we
King's
can loot the
accountant.
Warforged. We can kill the Warforged and strip him for parts.
Is Aaron actually
But the-
saying that?
I am saying that now.
The kings have shiny hats.
There's a couple of steps,
Which
just
we can't
a little bit more
get.
solid behind you.
Facts of my kings are better.
I thought we had conversations about this. Or do we need to?
Satire humor.
Strip it to
Say
put
that?
it back together again, even better. Fix them, you know?
Moving hooves and backwards legs
Surely-
don't do with anything.
Surely with your your past
Slight glance at
and
you.
his
This time it's not.
skill,
I guess
you could
Answer the question.
grab
Oh,
I refuse.
killing.
most definitely. That's why I said
Lower your
satire,
topic,
but you
not
people probably don't have that in your vocabulary here yet.
Satire.
I sort of want to turn him into
Funny.
Moku Jim.
Parody.
You know
That's
who
the
that
one.
guy is? Soft kicking free.
What are we
Yeah,
parodying?
who do you want to turn
Parodying.
into?
Killing the Warforged.
The Warful.
I do not like this parody.
You'll learn someday to
Take his parts and
pick up
replace
satire
him.
humor.
with
I
laughs.
take a quick check to make sure
You're
it's
not even
relatively breathing.
Quentin is
crafted
awake
with
now.
dogs.
He's sitting with this guard, and you look over, he looks like the guard's just sort of helping around. He's just listening to this chaos and just ignoring it. Just
Firewood.
recovering mentally.
The area is secure. You should be safe. We will be back.
Drop
Possibly.
something.
He looks up at you and goes, "Where are you going,
In the
Luggage?"
head, it's just plain.
To the direction of the Warforged.
There is another Warforged in the city who was attempting to pretend to be myself.
Yeah, no, I got that until I passed it on.
That's where we're going.
Ah,
He must be dealt with.
1 second. He pulls out a
Yes,
book
it's one of them.
and
Oh,
sort
that's
of
right. You've
flicks through a couple of pages and writes something down, and then sits there for a moment.
But Quentin's not next to us.
Awfully slow system this book is, isn't it?
He looks up and goes, "It depends how active people are paying attention to the book. It's useful for imagery, but
It doesn't go ba-ding.
Yes, I miss my bedings.
Perhaps you could put an enchantment
Right.
on it to give it a sound when it
I
when a
mean,
message is finished. with
Drew
it.
probably could do that. He could enchant his chatterbox to ping off whatever it's been doing.
I mean, more of a standard.
Using an infusion to it, but to create the actual process of the two books is probably not going to work too well for that, but I guess it could be worth looking into.
And then all of a sudden she's a recurring ba-ding.
Ba-ding, 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 ba-ding.
We're talking about a book, we could be talking to a king!
You mean like the king who's got a shadow book probably sitting right next to him?
I'm just very
Anyone
pouncing
who's
behind
looking at
you.
the book that's open for Quentin notices some text start getting written in, and he goes, Aces has it.
Has the book?
Under control?
The update is quite literally Aces has target. It holds up a smaller kind of looking book that looks like it's like maybe
Like he's
half the size of Drew's chatter book, and he goes, this is the one I've been communicating with Aces with.
It's a chatter notebook.
Basically, yeah.
Hey, fine.
And he goes,
That's stationary.
Aces seems to have this other Warforged in custody or in one of the lockdown areas at the moment.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you guys want to go, I guess you have to convince Aces. But
If he has the target.
Well, we could reprogram it then.
good luck getting in there. Aces wouldn't let you.
Can't
touch
you let us?
I don't have that authority here.
Oh, okay.
I carry probably as much authority as Drew does, but I carry a bit more notoriety than Drew because they know who I am.
And he has carried it for longer.
You're all just people to me.
Well, let's go anyway.
Aww. And I
You're
give you a
calling
hug.
people.
Calling me a person.
Crush.
There goes my ribs.
How
Maybe you
dare
have learned
you.
from my lessons.
Quentin sort of stretches back a bit and goes,
Oh, you have already finished the wine.
wine?
Pick up the bottle next to him.
I see a bottle of wine. I'm gonna roll.
It's empty. It's the one that you
one you're
drank
already drunk.
before.
Damn it.
I didn't know that you're drunk. I just see it empty. Ah, you have finished your wine.
I'm gonna go. If everything seems to be okay, I'm gonna regroup back at the Athenaeum if you guys don't mind.
Can I roll a high five him?
Would
Good
you
job,
like?
well done.
Would you like transport?
Freeze frame!
Just like friends.
You're just standing there, we're like moving around.
Stand
What is he doing?
Guys, help
To
me
be-
out.
I am now
Guys?
carrying.
Guys!
I am now
I'm stuck
carrying
with
Quentin.
Warforged.
Why are you carrying Quentin?
Because he's hurt. He's just done a massive thing to get us to be able to
That's true.
know who I am. Now I'm going to take him home. And he's got to Anathema and go have a nap.
Oh, so you get to
Fitz will
make a
throw.
vote.
He asked, and Quentin said sure.
Fitz will
You
throw
can
a
carry him
blanket
if you
over
want to,
him.
but I'm
That's
good
wrong.
enough to get
Is that one of the blankets
There
from
might be
the,
a bit of
the
difference.
And with
it's a
that,
very
Drew
smell-
climbs on.
There's a very smelly
Smash!
looking.
It's not fun if they
Just
want
chuck
to
it on
come
top
with
of
you.
Quentin
Said
looks
mash!
at you and sort of gives an appreciative nod, but you can tell like the smell is kind of bothering him a bit.
He put a blanket on him.
I do not smell
Oh.
anything.
One of the bad
Yeah,
blankets.
it's clean.
As you guys
blanket.
start leaving, one of the guys goes,
Sleeping in an alleyway.
are you cool if we take the two you've already tied up into our custody? Assuming you've been collecting them?
Luggage?
Throw 'em in the bin.
I require a chip.
A chick.
A chip. They're mine. It's one of the things I can take them later.
You want a receipt?
Coat chip, right?
We'll take that.
Wear hats. Where will you store them?
In the jail cell?
Understood.
They are ours.
Door?
We claim them as spoils of war.
I'm gonna interrupt. Which jail? Where exactly? God damn
I
it.
really wanted to respond with this, but I just realized the character doesn't know. One of the ones that are in the castle itself.
Okay.
We
That's
are going that way now. Bring them with us. And I look at the person who was wanting to carry Quentin. There's an unconscious body there.
You may not be drunk, but you still feel the effects of being drunk. So you're visibly just doesn't quite make any sense to you.
But it also means he does stupid decisions more often. Like carrying heavy bodies. Very easily influenced.
I'll roll to strip him to make him lighter.
They're tied up.
Damn it.
He can cut through the clothes.
They're tied up by me.
Oh, okay. I just grab a rope and drag one.
What are you on? They're the enemy.
We're still people.
Which one?
You really
There
are
two
evil.
differences between the two units. That
I'm a
it's tied.
goblin!
One of them smaller?
There's a
Yes.
mage and a fighter.
I'll take the smaller one.
It's the mage.
You little skinny bitch, come with me.
Or a wizard and fighter too.
I'll make the fighter guy walk because he is awake.
He's unconscious.
He was awake.
Was he?
No,
The
fighter-
wizard
The wizard is unconscious, the fighter is awake and tied up.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, you're dragging the wizard, I'm just prodding the...
Want the gun?
As you guys start doing this, you notice that a few of the guards that were further up towards the castle that this runner guy had talked to before have noticed you guys walking these things and have almost broken into formation around you, acting like this is something that is routine for them. They haven't asked you what's going on, they just assume
Have an ongoing.
Has anyone got any colour or feathers in their hats or anything?
the group
Yeah, anyone the leader of their group.
Anyone special out of these people?
out of these unit guys. Roll me perception.
Just imagine I've got this guy. He's like being dragged on the ass.
15.
And I'm sweating, pulling him.
There isn't a, like, here is a thing on the side of their shoulder, this is the unit thing, but it looks like one of them seems to be more in charge, almost like he's supervising this group, but he doesn't look like he's of a higher rank.
It's not worse.
Got
He's-
stuck in charge and took
Yeah,
charge.
he's basically taken charge of the situation, but he's not really looking in charge.
I turn to him. You, sir! You are now promoted.
No, all those numbers are all.
You are now in charge of this platoon.
He turns and looks at you and goes, I'm pretty sure you don't carry that authority, but thanks for the enthusiasm.
But I do.
No, I know I don't.
Deception.
I know I do. That's why I wanted to deceive him. Can I actually roll that?
They know who we are.
They don't know who I am.
If you're with me and that, they know who you are.
So I roll
I'll give you that.
deception.
A disadvantage deception.
This.
Sweet, I'll take it.
Goblin and a
I can't
Warforged,
beat
they know who
17,
that anyone plus is.
Fuck. 10 was the best I got.
No, this guy doesn't look like he's believing either of you.
My hat fell off.
I would have accepted a natural 20.
God damn it.
Sorry, that was a 7, but yeah.
Because these guys actively know who's in charge.
The reason I was trying to find out who it was is because I kind of wanted to point out the whole maybe someone should sort out the bodies.
Oh, yeah.
if you're doing that, like the units that were with you, you'll notice that there are some other units who are where the container was are actually actively going around and checking on things
In
and stuff.
charge
They look like
over
they're doing
these
cleanup.
Who's in charge?
Just
Like
specifically
he
the
has,
guys
he holds
who
more rank than you
asked,
do.
basically went, oh, this
Look,
is something.
I had no rank. I came out of nowhere.
We'll continue to walk. We will make our way to the castle.
I'm some random guy with a magistic beard.
I'm just a
Yeah.
We about to say beer. And then my brain went beer.
I got a magistic beard.
And that's kind of his thing.
I've still got a cooked soggy duck.
Oh,
That's a little bit off,
very
probably.
old now.
No, you don't.
No?
No, you don't. You used that ages ago.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah, you gave it to.
torture victim.
You shot it, it burnt, it fell into water, and then you threw it somewhere. Or fed it to someone. One of the two.
Fed it.
It might
He's
have been
dead
to
now.
the bear.
The guy who fed it to is dead now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yes, Mark.
We all reminisce about a good story.
Yeah. Trying to give Mark food.
As you guys walk through the
Flashback.
basically when you go through the two district areas, normally the gates are like flat out open. But as you guys approach it, you notice that they're actually closed off. And one of the guys in your escort unit bolts forward to the gate and sort of bangs on the front of the thing, and one of the doors sort of opens up a bit, and another head pops out and sort of looks around, and then the doors open up a bit more for you guys to be able to walk through. So your like escort walk is actually interrupted, and as you guys get through this door, there is a loud crashing noise. As you, if any of you turn around, you'll notice that the doors have actually been closed again, and some of the guys have actually started locking off the gate again. So they're still in a lockdown sort of practice of things. As you guys start making your way
level
up,
3.
Dragons?
as you guys start
We took it down.
As you guys start making your way up towards the castle, one of the guys that's with you kind of starts moving, even though the entrance to the castle is in front of you, he starts turning this way, and the rest of the units sort of not so much pull you in that direction, but almost encourage you to sort of say, we're going this way,
That's the jail.
basically.
Is that entrance is there, jail is that way?
Basically, that's what he's doing. And he takes you up.
We're
this-
going to the jail, I guess.
Yeah.
You can give them to go to the jail now. We know where it is.
Alright.
It's down the other path to the castle, basically.
Yeah.
I'm taking this guy inside.
I'm sweating bullets pulling this guy. I'm very
as-
tired.
It took a while.
As-
Roll on that.
as-
Have you
as-
collapsed?
By
Yeah,
now.
roll me a con save.
Maybe not. Where is my...
Let's say Conor is sorcerer, but no, that's you.
I'm the sorcerer.
21.
Cool. No, you're fine. It's tiring, but you're not exhausted.
You've gotten fitter over these past few
Yeah,
days.
you're
It's all the bear coming up. He's like a shotgun.
as the units start going off, one of the other two guards walk over to you and go, we can take him from here if you want.
What did you say earlier?
You didn't offer.
You did.
And as you walk away, one of the guys walks over, picks up the guy,
No, I just go far, slap them, and walk away.
he fireman soldiers this guy and walks away. And so basically these soldiers go off, and then a few end units of them seem to split off and go back towards the gate. And you guys are left.
I go back to standing near Falcor.
Falcor has been walking behind you guys the entire time. He sort of understands what's going on and he's stopped as you guys have kind of split off, and he's just sitting there next to you.
He's still in the marketplace. You didn't tell him to come. No.
Falcor is not like an animal companion. He's smart enough to understand what's going on.
I would like to make it in the front door and call out, "Medic!"
Are you heading towards the Athena?
Wait, do you say it like that or do you say it like Luggage? Medic!
Or be more like, "Medic! Medic!
Oh,
Medic!
Okay,
Medic!"
so you're heading towards the Athena. Is what I want to know. Cool.
Where are
Are you all heading with Luggage or?
I'm just dropping
Guess
this
he's
guy off
ahead,
here.
yeah.
Okay.
Technically, that's the castle I'm walking past right now.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go and talk to the king. That's where the king is.
That's what you say, I'll slip away.
So Johnny heads up towards the castle.
I'm
Stalk
big
me
time
somewhere.
chilling.
You're guys. Okay, you're with Falcor or whatever. What are you two doing?
She's on my shoulder. Well, he's on my shoulder.
John. Yeah.
I'll follow along to go to the king.
Okay,
The
cool.
more people I have, the easier to persuade.
Yeah, you broke up the party.
It's not true.
So you guys are heading up towards the Athena. They'll get to the entrance of the castle first, so I'll go with them first.
Needs the pay
Uh,
when we leave.
Now you gotta pay attention, Henry.
Alright.
You guys start walking up to the entrance of the castle. Normally it's sort of an open door for you to go in, but as you get up there, you notice there are two massively, like, overly armoured guys standing in front who appear to be ready for anything.
Can I get in?
One of the
Can
guards looks at you and goes, "No."
I need to talk to him.
Talk to who?
The king?
Seriously?
Wizard king? Oh, is this Black Cloud?
Wizard King.
We're in lockdown at the moment.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but it'll be real quick. 30 seconds tops?
I can guarantee that's going to be a no.
It's extremely urgent he gets to the king. Extremely.
What
Please
is-
let us roll.
Sure you have papers
What
on
is so
you.
urgent about seeing the king?
It can save the whole...
Fitz will just fumble through all his papers.
No,
Sure he has like some papers or something.
Urgent.
So yeah,
Lord's Alliance, Lord's Alliance.
this is my scholar.
You finally pull out one of the paper things you've got that basically says you're an Athenaeum Associate Member Adventurer based thing. Basically your title that you've got. You pull this up and go, no.
Can I minor illusion it to make it look more sophisticated?
Yes, I will let
Yes!
you have it. What are you doing to make it look more sophisticated?
Really fancy text.
So the text just becomes shinier.
Yeah, shiny text, and it says like
Do you have
Supreme
you've got
Master.
prestidigitation as a spell, eh?
Yes.
He's also got minor illusion.
Now,
Yeah.
minor illusion would create an image of something. Presta would probably make it look nicer.
Does it have a slight glow to it?
It would-
He hasn't read this either, so we'd have to know it perfectly to
It,
be minor illusion.
it says like
Yeah.
Making
Supreme
spot, please.
Scholar.
I'm making it
Involved
visible.
this.
Gotcha.
Anyone else bursts
also
You
said-
you
Why-
stand there holding this. The guard looks at it and sort of he looks like he's trying to glare through this extra white text that's coming through.
Puts on some sunglasses.
Either both of you can roll to persuade, or one of you can roll with advantage.
Oh, let me. I got this.
Sorry, I'll rephrase that. Fitz can roll with advantage because he's the one holding it, or you can both roll.
Oh.
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 Because wait,
Which one is more
Fitz
charisma?
Fitz is the one saying, "I'm important. Look, I've got a piece of paper." So
You're the one saying shit.
Is this deception? Are we doing deception?
No, it's persuasion because you're not really deceiving him. You're actively trying to see the king. This isn't a lie.
you have told the truth, except for you.
When do I tell the
But
truth?
no, because he wants to see the king. It's important. It's of utmost importance. To him, it's the utmost importance.
He was trying to write
14.
Grand Supreme.
God
Scott.
damn it! You
With
should let me
advantage.
roll.
Yeah.
Oh.
You should
My
let me
persuasion's
roll.
0. Okay, well you're right. Just do it. Let's see what
That's-
you would have gotten.
13.
The guard who's been standing there looking at both of you doesn't. He appears to sort of. You hear the sound of gloves clench a bit more on the spear he's holding, and the guard behind him sort of taps him on the shoulder, and he sort of looks back and sort of looks at you guys again, and the guard behind goes, "I recognize that thing. I don't know if you're aware of this, but most of the time when the castle goes in lockdown, like we physically can't get in.
Oh.
We actually have no control over this. I'm sorry. Like we could let you in if it was a major emergency, but then if you were someone who had that authority, you wouldn't be using this entrance."
Right, I knew that. I was testing you.
Yeah, just testing security
Yeah,
over there.
testing.
Oh, that's good to know.
Good job, good job.
Blues Brothers this. So we're just testing. So we're testing your knowledge. Where's the other entrance? I know where it is, but I want you to tell me.
I don't know.
Fuck!
I'm only on public entry guard. This is the public entrance.
These guards are pretty good.
Yeah.
Top of the line, yes.
I've got an idea. We're gonna just walk down the stairs and scurry away.
Did you say I've
Thanks,
got an
so you're
idea and
backwards.
scurry away?
No, we go like down the stairs and then we split.
Fitz will flip. How many are there?
There's two.
He'll flip each one a single gold each.
Don't do that. That makes us look like criminals.
He's losing money.
Oh.
Just give it to me, I'll take
Looking
it.
like criminals, he's losing money.
They will catch the coin. Well, one will catch the coin. The other one, who's been gripping the spear, the coin goes ting ting in front of him, and he kind of looks down and looks up and just puts the spearhead onto it, just to hold it in place. He doesn't want to bend down to it, but he also doesn't want to break contact with you. And he just sort of stares and goes, "Thanks."
A sleight of hand flick you in the ear. Fucking idiot. Learn how to criminal.
Stealth attack.
Do you say that?
Very no. That would be a bad idea.
Roll sleight of hand.
Actually, you know what? I will.
Are you saying or whispering that?
I'm whispering that to Fitz.
Cool.
Sleight of hand?
No, neither of them.
Can't
are here.
sleight ahead your voice. Not a halfling.
Well, it would be a stealth-based thing.
Halflings, they can naturally throw their voice because they're short.
Are you guys turning around and leaving?
Yeah, Fitz will.
I'll give it to him. I'll give it. Yeah.
There's no like.
There's no facts behind it.
Can I see like a window or something?
Can I climb up the
Not even
walls?
sure
or-
how you get
Did
down
you
the
say
suction
facts?
either.
There's no facts behind it.
We're in Dungeons and Dragons. Of course there are no facts. It's called fantasy for a reason.
Got me.
Got him.
So, back to you four. As
Four?
Back to the
Oh, I'm chilling. He's the one that's walked inside. Just do this.
No,
I haven't
so-
gone
so
inside. You're following us.
Yeah.
I thought-
So,
okay,
as
so-
you guys come
We're
up to
following
this,
us.
Apparently I'm
I
following.
deal with it.
That's a note. Yeah. So that
Well,
you can
apparently
accept
I'm on
it.
his
Not too
shoulder.
sure if
I
you
mean,
made this map.
I didn't realize that was.
That's the
I know
castle.
vaguely.
That's the achievement.
Adds to the map and goes.
Alright.
So we've gone. What?
Look, and it's just a piece of wood.
Are you looking around, or are you just active?
No, I've got my eyes closed.
I want to know: are you one man?
Drew's
mission?
like,
Are you-
left, right.
Here is my destination. Are you
And
taking him? What's
I'm not full
So
on.
you're on
I would
passive.
at least have some form of
So you're on passive,
Yeah.
basically. Okay, so
knowing that there is a battle that's technically
Alright, so
still possible.
can I get you three to roll me perceptions then?
Not of any use. Not of any use.
Yeah, doesn't look like mine's any use either.
Woo!
11.
7.
Okay, mine was second of use. 9.
I got 11.
Nope.
I'm big
Thank
chilling.
you.
You guys walk up to the Athena, but it doesn't look like there's anything wrong. As you get up to the entrance, you notice that the front part of it, there is a sort of a.
Oh, I know
just
what it
naturally,
is.
you guys see
I'm
that
touching
there's a
those.
shimmer over the door.
Quentin, it's locked.
Quentin goes, "Yeah, it's
Extra 5.
usually part of the defense procedure. You can put me down and I'll try and open it, I guess."
It said put.
Because my nose is like that.
It said drop me.
That's why he said put.
Like a bottle of wine, you dip it on the
Yeah,
bottom.
you put him
I've
down.
dealt with that luggage before.
Quentin's sort of legs wobble a little as he sort of goes, Right.
Amanda.
He walks up to the door and starts rummaging through pockets and goes, hold on. And you notice him just kind of stare at the door for a moment. And then he looks back at you guys and goes, Abby will be here in a second. Abby.
Will you be okay? Are you safe?
Abby will drop the defense barrier and then I can go through. So yeah, I guess I'm safe.
Now we'll take a look around to make sure there are no sneaky hiding bullet traps.
Roll me another perception.
Now sneak back up.
Net 20, you can see like 100 of them around.
15.
No, it looks like there hasn't
Sees
actually
enemies of the
been
past.
anything here. It's
See a
almost
website
like
on the
the
ceiling.
walls were breached.
Has a vision of the
This area
future.
actually
Starts spazzing out.
It looks like there's
And
a lot
it's
of
another
people running
one-shot.
around, but it looks pretty secure.
Alright, cool. To the castle!
So Luggage walks down the stairs, you're on his shoulder. Falcor and Erin are watching as Luggage has just gone past them as the doors open and you notice a gnome, probably about a quarter of the size of the door, sort of pulls it over and Quentin walks in. And the
Bye,
gnome,
Abby!
the gnome quickly looks out and sort of sees your group and roll me a perception.
Wipes her brow as we walk the other way.
15.
Blushes and then darts behind the door.
Okay, I nod. I just walk off. I just follow.
You notice Gabby have looked, make direct eye contact with you, blush, and then disappear inside.
Gross. 60-year-old race.
There's a
Hold
weird
on.
scenario going on there.
Did you just tell...
I'm aware of what I see.
We know this is Johnny, right? I remember standing outside a brothel.
Let's not forget that Drew hates gnomes,
I know.
but not that gnome.
I know.
Yeah, I just mentioned I completely misread that situation.
It's alright, you're not physically there, it's
I know.
okay.
There's a bit of distance between us. Yeah, then turn around and walk back to the castle.
Cool. You guys get about halfway down the path. Does Fitz and Johnny head to their thingum after their failed attempt at getting inside the castle?
Is there a bar?
Probably not open.
Damn it.
Drinking your sorrows of not getting paid.
And you can't get drunk either.
I know, I'm doubly sad.
Rest.
Oh my hat.
Confirm something for me, Sam?
Yeah, I guess.
In theory, Aces should be around here somewhere.
And he was locked in here, but he's been moved. They've moved him inside. So Aces has come out.
In theory, I would have seen no one standing around there at the time.
Cute. You would have seen a house being guarded if that was still happening.
Gotcha.
But because Drew made a comment to Quentin, Quentin was able to tell Aces. So
You guys walking?
I just want to know whether they're going to meet up with you guys or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys will meet up with Luggage, having sat and walked back from the castle.
What did the king say?
We'll get payment and
Insight to anyone who wants to believe.
We'll get payment in what?
in installments.
No.
10.
9.
12.
Are you rolling an insight?
I got a 4.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, that's what's happening. You guys are getting paid in advance.
How's that for? And then how much in each installment?
How do they know who I am?
We're still working out the details.
Roll me with advantage.
Shit.
13.
It's
With
a lie.
No, that was my advantage.
That was his advantage. It's a lie. You don't quite know what you don't know what it is about it that's a lie. You just know he's lying.
Okay, this guy's fun.
How?
Don't worry about it. We're working out the details. And then I shuffle some paperwork in my jacket. It's secretly just proper pamphlets.
What's he going on about?
You've been awfully quiet, Cat.
No, I just look at Fitz and I'm like, I don't want to be a failure.
Wonder how my kitty friend's doing. Kevin.
We have seen he was on the ship.
We're not getting paid, are we?
Don't
See
answer
the
that.
king, did you?
I had to go pee, so he went to see the king. I went pee, and yeah.
Go on. Don't kill me with Fitz again.
Hard.
Oh,
Okay, move Fitz.
17.
Oh.
Deception.
What's your deception?
Go again.
Ring of luck.
Why didn't you use that before?
Yeah, what?
Son of a bitch.
Could have actually got
My turn.
My turn.
If it goes anything off that kind of roll, you just wasted your good roll right there.
Well, that was deception, though. So I actually get a bonus for that. 21.
Anyone who beats a 21 will know that this is a lie.
But I already know he's lying, so I don't need a roll against that.
No,
You know there's a lie.
you know there's a lie. You don't know what it is about the lie.
Okay, so I know he didn't lie about going to the bathroom.
Yeah, he in fact went for a piss.
He probably.
He went for a piss and talked to the king, so you think it's possibly true, unless you want to roll an insight to see whether.
Well, no,
it's not.
he went and took a piss, didn't talk to the king.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
something
I
about the
still
king-
know.
So you don't know whether the lie is he talks to the king or whether it's the installments. The only reason you had the advantage was because the wording of the lie was we're getting paid in
Oh, that's
installments,
right, I said
implying that
installments,
the
and then I
king
said,
knew
like,
everybody
interest.
was. That's the only reason you know.
What's interest? We're out of a racket now. Don't worry about it.
What do you mean now?
We're the mobs.
What do you mean? Of course we are. He's already doing drugs. I'm beating the crap out of people to get, like, extortion them for stuff. We definitely are the mob.
I'm just wondering if maybe I've read somewhere within all that law that I was reading from the city
What do you want
how
to
things would work, and
This-
that he would be full of
Roll-
shit because
roll
he
me a
would
history.
go.
roll me a history, because that's what
I
they're
roll a
under.
sleight of hand to put my hand over the button.
No, it's mental. It's
Damn it.
Drew's memory.
18.
You would know that this installments logic makes sense. The kingdom does offer sort of installments, but you're also aware that generally when it comes to rewards and things, there are options given to a party, whether they want to be completely paid in gold, or if they're residents, whether it's infrastructure reward or things like that. So the act of an installment is a possibility.
Would I
But-
know that it would be coming from the king, or maybe someone else that you'd need to talk to?
You would know that it's not the king directly who actually says this.
Yeah, okay, that's
you would
what I
know
thought.
he witnesses this sort of stuff and the council set up, but it's not the king directly who says this has happened. He just approves of it.
So who told you this?
The king, and I look at you. How?
King Accountant.
King Accountant Council.
Doubt.
Yeah, I remember seeing some pompous accountant-looking people in the
Fitz, roll me a
throne
history and I'll
room.
just double check
I'm
something.
just gonna throw like a brochure in your face.
I'm tempted to put you down and go fly to the castle. Yeah, just wish. And
4.
go talk to
Okay, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would know it's not the accountant now, wouldn't I?
He's trying to see if he
They
can
looked accountanty. I had to go pee, so I
was rolling whether I'd
It wasn't just the king there.
Technically, would.
I'm staring down his naked while you're talking.
We have spoken to them at least a couple of times.
Yeah, that's why I was getting him to roll a history.
I love unnecessarily lying.
Um,
Now I'm hoping we do meet the king and I have to try and work him into my lie.
So
Good to see you, buddy.
We had that great chat for. Don't worry, I look different this time. Not unusual.
not the king countant.
Yeah.
The King Accountant.
King Countant. Where's our King Countant? I think his name was Matt Jeremy.
Yeah, heavily doubting.
It's okay. You know it's a lie.
Cool. I have my party back. Like I said, I have my party.
Yes, that king counted. Yeah.
You're the babysitter of them.
But he's the babysitter. I'm just the one that leads us in a direction because no one else is going.
He's the decision maker. There's a difference.
My
I started out as the character that kept running from combat, so I don't know how this happened.
So, can we hear any combat? I assume not.
No, there is the sound of, like, especially in this area, the sound of just sort of general city kind of eeriness.
Especially seeing as no one's out.
A lot of people aren't out and about, but there is no overt sound of combat happening. Before, when you were in the city, there was the sound of shouting and things like that. Based off where you guys are standing, in theory, you would have heard if there was any sort of combat happening in this area, if it was loud enough. But yeah, and the area the guy was talking about was this area over here that was being attacked.
How easily does your
Hydration.
flying
It's important.
refresh
I can do it now.
forever? Like, you do it now, how long do you can do it again?
Isn't it instantly?
Because I can do mine
With the
repeatedly.
Yeah. It just takes exhaustion from me.
It's exhaustion after the fusion.
We
So
exhaust.
it's outside of combat, it's a minute. Sorry, inside combat, it's a minute. Outside of combat, it's 10 minutes.
Also,
What's
is
a team
someone
member?
already exhausted in this party?
In Wellington.
I feel like one of them flew and fused.
Yeah.
So
But everyone is short rested.
They're my candidates.
Sorry, long rested, not short rest.
Yeah.
It's been
You're actually artistic.
it's been a short rest in time period wise, but it's been a physical long rest, which is why Quentin fell unconscious. He technically long rested everybody. Inadvertently.
I will use. How many is it? I think it's 3. So 3 side
Yeah, we
ones.
didn't actually put a limit on how many times I can fuse with Falcon.
You cannot fuse with Falcor if you have a point of exhaustion.
Is that it?
That's the rule of Falcor. If you have a point of exhaustion, Falcor cannot fuse with you.
But I can use the Falcor.
He also has to be willing.
Stay away from that poor
He
baby.
has to be willing as well.
It's my buddy.
I just keep seeing
Yes.
Aaron like
It's more like
That
a
is how we
cheap
fuse.
animation where Falcor becomes like
when
ethereal and just stands in front of him, and then someone just cut the image. That's basically what it looks
They
like.
just fade back,
I've
back
seen
and
American
forth.
Pie. I don't want to challenge this.
Classic bad anime fusion.
Yeah.
Shall I complete scouting?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that as well.
Hey,
fuse
are
the
boys coming
Falcor.
from behind me?
Fly. Just look around.
I can do it
Falcor
without
will move up
repercussion.
next to you, sort of.
I can do it without repercussion.
I'll do it anyway. I'm
And
used to it.
And heal myself at the same time.
I'm used to it.
Why you both fucking do it?
Technically, I can probably carry you at the same time.
Just do it then!
If Drew wants to go for a fly, yes. You got it. There is an airship that's currently hovering above the marketplace. that
Oh, I
probably
do need to
needs
talk to my captive.
I just thought I'd remind you.
I don't know that's there, but I'm just more looking about quickly checking what's over there, and there's
It's
a
more of a
wall
distant-
in front of me.
I might do that actually. I might go and fly my airship.
Cool.
See if I can convince this guy to
Ah,
still
you-
be
you're
my
fire
underling.
throwing goblin
Like
on the
where?
shoulder.
Aaron-
To the
Aaron-
airship that has my guy that's controlling it.
Aaron pats Falcor, and Falcor sort of majestically fuses with Aaron, and he sort of anime styled hair starts fluttering a bit, sort of showing that he's fused as this bit of wind is sort of fluttering
Got
around.
this like gold aura around me.
It's more of a white aura.
Sweet, sweet majesty.
While they're doing that,
So you can fly up to the airship.
I'm just imagining. Huh?
That's exactly
A
it.
massive bear just.
Now I'm thinking about taking this one.
Not taken.
Because
Uh,
it's a big
Down.
character in Taken.
I'm going to
Go up as well.
go up and try and get myself an eye and view generally of
A bird's eye view.
what the fuck's going on.
Yep. Is Drew riding?
There's no room for me anywhere. Yes.
Okay.
Shut up.
You can land in the airship without an issue.
Yep.
You two
Go,
basically
Maroon.
watch as 3 of your party has just taken off in a
no, I know what I'm
This
gonna
is the
do.
biggest
Can I use
obstacle.
mold earth to make a little chair and table?
Is that a first level higher spell?
It's cantrip.
It's a cantrip?
It's from
So,
the gauntlet.
I'm
No,
gonna.
I just don't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start playing craps and hustle people.
In the middle of this.
The only person you can hustle is Fitz.
Go!
There's no one else around that you could potentially
We're
hustle.
playing cards on my dirt table.
And Fitz is
You want
taking
to play cards with Fitz?
Fitz the first like 5 sessions.
Yeah, he wants to.
spent spare time.
Let's roll against each other.
Can I also
Again,
point out
roll
that
again.
artificers get the bonus to using tools? Gambling
Okay.
sets count as tools. You get double proficiency bonus while using your gambling set.
I'm about to lose a lot of money.
It entirely depends. I think it's.
This is why Fitz is able to just give money away.
Like proficiency rolls.
So how
so
can I do
for-
this?
If you're going to go
Minimum bonus.
gambling, then yes, it's using the gambling set, and it would be double proficiency for him, just proficiency if he is proficient with his gambling set himself. Otherwise, just a straight D20 roll. It's how tools work. It's just
Typically, yeah.
roll plus
Um,
proficiency if you are proficient.
I will let you guys. Do you want to do this now?
Yeah.
So the way we'll orientate this is you both will say how much you want to put in terms of gold into this, and then you will roll against it. That's how we'll do it. The simplest way. of
Straight
doing this.
rolling.
It'll be straight rolling. If we were going to do it slightly more like different, then I'd get you to roll deception based, but that's going to confuse it a bit more. So it's just going to be.
do sleight
You
of
guys
hand.
know each other too well.
No, you
It's a sleight
get
of hand.
proficiency because you're using a gambling set, and which is double because you're an artificer, but it's a flat D20 roll between the two of you.
So I assume you don't have proficiency in gambling tools.
No, I don't think so.
You most likely have an instrument.
No,
Yeah.
we do.
It's gone. You're going to lose money.
I'm trying to decide
literally
whether
just
it
went
would
to
be
the
a
gods.
charisma based thing or a dexterity based thing for cards.
It's a gambling set.
Yeah, I know,
which is
but
tools,
neither.
Which is neither.
But okay,
Even it out.
so
It's
We
not-
can't hustle
Don't make
each
it
other.
even, Sam. He's set them up for
I think
himself.
that
That's
if
fine.
you pick
Careful,
a
don't drop that
skill
one too.
based, then
Oh.
it's technically giving them both a bonus, which they're already getting anyway.
Yeah. Okay, no, so it's just flat 20 rolls, but you get your proficiency because you're using gambling. How much gold do you guys want to put on against each other?
Plus
5
6.
silver.
5 silver.
He doesn't have much because a lot of it was spent just before the
I
back.
don't even have a goal.
I have 10 gold pieces, that's it.
Alright. 10 gold pieces.
Do you agree?
Guy minor illusion, more gold.
No. Fuck. I'm sorry. That's.
Well, you could.
It's 10. Are you going to go 10 gold?
Sure.
Right, 10 gold versus 10 gold. Right, roll me.
I'll let you go first.
Don't look. You're gonna intimidate my dice. Cocked?
Yes,
That's
cocked.
cocked.
Fuck off. You won't be to look.
Okay.
That was amazing.
Was it a 20?
No.
Oh,
18 plus what? 3? Or are we doing the double?
it's double. It's 6.
Congratulations.
I roll 11.
I was just, if it was, I was just gonna be like, go again.
You know what? Sure. I have 37 silver pieces. Let's go again.
Go again. Okay.
I can win it back, I'm sure of it.
Alright, so 37. 37 silver it is.
Gambling is wrong.
Oh, god damn it!
19.
So, over the course of however long these guys are gone, you will have lost all your money. I will, however, let you roll once. Just flat roll.
Yeah.
What was it?
8.
Okay, no, you didn't win anything. It wasn't a case of, oh, I won one round.
No.
It was a case of every time you played, you just lost.
I made a little
No.
igloo to cry.
You sit in the corner of the road and someone comes out and thinks you're homeless and gives you 8 silver.
Yeah, I'm, in a
A
little,
copper.
I'm like in a little dirt hole that I made
Okay,
myself.
so
A guard watching does give you 2 copper.
I'll
This
delete
will not
myself.
take place during the betting. It's whenever these guys come down.
You can maybe go beg those
looking
guards
through
they
the five
gave a
rule book
gold
at
piece to.
dex checks, which looking at pick a lock comes under dex.
Yeah.
You have lock
Easy
picks,
come, easy
which
go.
would be double proficiency from the tool.
Yeah.
So in that circumstance, I would be saying you'd probably be using either dex or charisma on your gambling as
Yeah.
well, and then double proficiency for the gambling set. So
Yeah,
So
would have been.
there are guards.
What's your dex?
still would have outnumbered anyway.
Yeah, mine would have been 11.
Would have just
11
formed a
bonus.
shrine.
I wonder if I could attempt to eat a rapier to get some money.
Right, so in the air,
I should not be
Drew
doing
and
free time.
Luggage give me perceptions for
You're
the
a
city.
bard,
You
bust.
can land on the edge.
Take a look.
I've got the rapier about.
You could always just look
You
through
should
the
just use the
rubble
tower.
of
Of a broken down
I got the ring in my mouth. You're like,
I guess
just
that's what it is
say
in the
you
one.
fuckwit.
17.
13.
Cool. Luggage in the air, sort of.
Never
think
written
about-
stuff.
You can't actively see any sort of engagement
Cuts
at
to
all.
me
in the city.
crying.
You sort of see some units sort of over here. Like you can see guards and stuff. Some of them
Cuts
have
back to
been
me.
looking in a direction, but they don't seem to be paying any bother to you. They look like they're paying attention to something outside the wall. You do know that that's where the hobgoblins and goblins are attacking from, but they don't look like they're actively shooting anything. They're just kind of watching. Drew, you see this as well, but you also notice there is a encampment of some kind over in this direction here, as there is some fire, sort of smoke going up. So something has set camp up on the top of that.
I see the enemy, I said, pointing up here. Because that's all I can see.
I see that too, and I also see a fire over that way. There's a camp.
Fire. I like fire.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Aaron, you land on the airship without an issue.
Awesome.
That is the other entrance. They attempted to get into that entrance. Perhaps they will attempt to get into this entrance. They haven't gotten inside yet. To our knowledge, they haven't gotten
No,
inside.
I gotcha. I'm like,
The
they were attempting all entrances.
the trial I am talking about specifically, because there was a door here that they were blasting into. Now
yeah,
they've got
yeah.
a camp by the other one.
Gotcha. I see.
Were they just freaking out and trying to escape?
I don't care. Or I might care. I'm trying to figure that out right now. This seems under control. There are guards there.
Are they not just over there because it's a high point and out the way?
I do not know. I did not see them until now.
I just know there's a camp. What do you want?
Direction. These guys or those
Okay,
guys?
do you want to go have a nosy?
Okay. Decision made. There you go. We're gonna fly over
Perfectly
this way.
in game.
As you guys fly past
that's pretty
the airship that Aaron has landed on, Aaron, are you defusing with Falcor?
No, I'm still looking majestic so I can intimidate the guy.
So you walk in. You've
I
got,
slam the door open.
the guy is just sort of he's just running back and forth, holding knobs and things to make sure the ship is just floating there. And he stops and looks back and goes, "Hi!"
Sounds like my kind of guy.
He's just freaked out the moment he sees you again.
Holding no.
I haven't tried to fly anywhere. It's impossible to fly as one person. I've kept it aloft, but it won't stay aloft forever. I do not have the ability to cast magic to keep it going again. It might fall soon.
Swear your loyalty to me.
Don't kill me. Can I pull that lever?
Swear your loyalty to me.
Yes, sir. I swear not to be killed by you, and I will follow your orders, sir.
Alright,
Can I
land
pull
this
that
in the
lever?
marketplace.
I can't
Were
do
you not
that, my
listening to
own,
the
sir. Can I
sentence he
pull that
just said?
lever before we fall?
Yeah, okay. I'll use my mage hand to pull the lever.
You pull the lever and you feel the ship almost sort of reorientate itself. It's almost like he's been constantly keeping it orientated.
He can't land.
Yeah.
All he can do is hope
Well, that's why
put it in place.
That's why I'm here to help him land. But I needed him to swear his loyalty to me.
Fair. It works better.
he looks a little less stressed now that the lever has been pulled and looks back at you and goes, "Loyalty to us, sir."
Alright, relax for a bit.
Can't do that.
I think you broke like a
As
chimney
you
or
feel
something.
the ship. Well, actually, you wouldn't feel the ship. You just feel your foot progressively.
Because I'm standing.
You can feel your foot progressively sort of dipping like this as he sort of starts to go like this, and he goes, "Thank you. Can I?
Direct me, let's land this.
Okay. Can I just level up first?" He runs over. And
I still haven't moved from my spot. I'm making him still do it all.
He runs over to another lever and pulls another lever, and it sort of reorientates again. And he goes, "All right. Well, one of us has to operate the left thruster, or the other one has to operate the right thruster, and then we have to control how much it orientates with. So if you go to the first lever that had to be pulled, and just by that lever there's a couple of knobs and things that can normally mount that. Like you've got to twist."
Knobs that control the mounts.
So he runs over and sort of stands next to it, sort of waiting for you to come over.
I walk over slowly,
He
but
starts
trying to
to-
be intimidating.
Oh, he's very much
He's
intimidating.
scared.
That natural 20 that you gave on him has still lasted. He
This is why
basically
I already
shows you
know how to fly it.
he shows you how this system works. so that
So do I know how it works? Can I stand there and double mage hand and fight on my own?
you can only use mage hand once. Like you can only bring one mage hand at a time.
How
What's
much
that?
pressure is
It'll be
needed
hard
to
to
flip the
fix
switch?
I was wondering that
20
too.
pounds or more?
Yeah.
No, it's
Then yes.
So I could just stand there doing that.
A switch.
it's a switch and a lever basically.
No, I'm literally
It's
an
not that
artificer as
difficult
well.
to
What
do
do you
this sort of stuff.
Yeah, but
So I could rapidly do it with mage
You
hand.
could stand and just mage hand like that, and I have to.
Or
Yeah, I'm starting
But
to think I
stand
might
by
have to
one
go.
lever.
And mage hand the other one?
Yeah,
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you potentially could do that,
Yeah, I got
yes,
a lot.
but it would also be a lot easier to because the system is something you're not familiar with to
Yeah.
have him on the other side.
I just want to know if I can level this ship on my own eventually.
Crisis.
You could, but you
Played
wouldn't be
a
able to do
real
anything
long
else.
class.
Alright, so we slowly...
Snap his neck.
Roll me a perception to see if you can. Because basically, he's going to be telling you what to do, when to do it, and stuff.
I got a 1.
Cool. Everything he tells you, you either flick the wrong switch to what he's been mentioning, or don't pull something when he says, okay, do it now, and you're not paying that much attention, you're just kind of going, wait, for this, and you're being so concentrating to pull the next part of it. And so what happens is the airship starts to pivot like this, and starts heading in this direction instead of
Oh
towards the mark.
shit.
And he starts freaking out a bit more and goes, maybe you swap sides?
Okay.
And he slides down to your side. And
I
you-
walk up.
and you walk up to your side. Roll me an intelligence.
Watch as I crash the ship into the
I'm
car.
just
I like to
imagining.
think of my like prying eyes. I look up and I was like, that's not right.
You just sit
I
there
didn't cause this time.
playing
Hey,
cards
that
and look
wasn't
up.
me.
That's another 1.
Oh no!
2 in a row.
Am I?
One more and you
I'm
die.
still in the air. Do we notice this happening? We might have to go and help.
You guys have
Yeah.
gotten to about here because you were heading towards it. Roll me perceptions.
It's just-
Pray. Pray.
We're not
That's
standing under it, are we?
No, they went this way. And then he rolled another one.
It was curving this way because he wanted to turn it towards the market,
Yeah,
but it went the
fucked it.
wrong way, so he's kind of going the wrong way, and then he's going to keep going.
Yeah, so he's heading towards us.
He's heading in your
Just in a
direction.
circle.
12.
And a 20. Natural.
You guys notice the airship is moving. You also notice the airship is moving like this, and it seems to be. It's not lowering yet. It's just kind of banking in a circle at the moment because they haven't gotten to the stage of lowering it yet.
Luggage,
I'm
what
just
are they doing with our airship?
Oh, can I also scratch my name into the airship? No, into the captain's area.
With your foot.
That still doesn't count. As far as Drew's concerned, it's his.
They
Can
are
I-
either flying it
You
or
didn't care what
crashing it.
name's in it, it's his. Look, Aaron, oh, you named the ship for me, thanks.
You will note that he has already said, I own you, I own your ship.
I like to think that Fitz is like slapping me from crying. He's gone, look at that.
They seem to be piloting it badly. Possibly.
Crashing it.
Do we want to go fix that?
Perhaps. You understand how it
Ultron.
flies, do you not?
Yes. I have flown it.
I'll go this way.
Whee!
Splash.
I'll let you know now. You
Roll a
actively know
dex.
you wouldn't be able to throw
Let me
through
gust
that far.
into you.
I will drop her off there.
Cool. Roll me a dex to see whether you can actually orientate onto the ship as it's currently flying in sort of a circular
Do you want me
motion.
to roll any more to adjust?
Can I get... It's not a 1.
Can I assist?
Yes, you
Yeah.
can. You're telling them to do things, so yes.
I can't sleep with myself.
I rolled a 13.
It's a perception for telling him to do this because it's a dexterity thing.
Fitz starts
15.
shooting at the thrusters.
You stabilize your gun on my head.
Shooting the money you just won.
Currently a 5. Cool. Drew explains to you, okay, we're going to do it at this point here, and we'll go now. You go to fly down into the ship at the same time, but completely mistime it, and you get smacked by one of the tail parts that seems to have a thrust on it. Give me a dex save.
Oh no!
We're gonna kill a lot of people.
Drew has a spell that will save them. It's okay.
Yeah, it's called Feedfall.
Yeah, but what about
sorry,
the ship?
Dex save.
Yep.
That's right.
Nope, 17.
If we
Cool.
really need to...
Do you want to be hanging on to luggage or the airship?
We'll just catch it. As a note, my plan is to drop you off here and go and figure out what's going on down there.
Okay, well, I probably know that.
Yes, I've told
So
you.
airship.
Airship, cool. So you basically, as the ship comes through, Luggage tries to orientate himself and basically gets clotheslined, and you are now hanging onto this wing. Luggage, you drop about 10 feet down because you sort of reorientate yourself, and this ship just kind of flies past you, and you just sort of watch it.
Are you alive?
I am.
Are you safe?
No.
I feel like this
possibly.
is being done by message because you wouldn't be able to casually.
Roger, Roger.
Sorry, hold on. Are you alive?
Other ear, dumbass.
Are you safe? I don't know which one of these.
I
it is.
think so. Maybe. I guess we'll see.
I will return.
Okay.
Whoosh. Run away!
Roll me another intelligence to see if you can orientate the ship back to being normal.
That's a little bit better.
Come on, buddy.
Anything,
What's a
above
little
one-
bit better?
anything above a 1 is
A
a
2? Fucking
12.
me and Fitz seen this yet?
You've seen this airship in mid of your betting. It's about the point where you're down to your last silver. And the airship goes in sort of like a banking motion. If it was to turn and drop down, it would go right at you. But it reorientates
No,
itself
we won't
back
do
to
that.
being right again, and continues to sort of move in a slow motion, sort of in the air.
I like to think my guy's struggling because your technology is too primitive for him. He doesn't know what's going
Right
on.
up.
So the
Haven't got a true
airship,
engineer's moment.
the airship is back to normal. You can run across it.
Dice candy.
Scamper, scamper,
Oh,
scamper.
yeah.
So now you've actually got to put it in this one, not this one.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's alright. It's empty.
Destruction.
Drew bursts into the room, which is greeted by immediate.
What are you doing?
I
Trying
stand-
to land.
Shut up, not you!
Oh, wait, don't talk to him.
He pulls another lever as the airship reorientates again.
Good work.
As you guys are talking, this is
You're rearranging. I'm still standing here as my feet are going up and down.
He's essentially doing this constantly now because he doesn't have to fix that side anymore because it's staying there, and so he's just constantly messing with it, doing this.
We're landing this rust bucket.
Landing!
Well,
Get out the way!
orientating.
I went, eh. You know.
Do you like drag me and I still just go like that?
So I assume.
If that's what you want to do,
You're still technically flying there.
I am flying.
Stuff you go.
I'm just imagining as it's doing this.
Drew, you turn to this
your
guy who
foot
looks
is
at you and
just
goes,
turning.
okay,
Like your body's staying this.
Ready?
So the ship goes.
marketplace still?
What?
That's exactly what's happening. I'm standing upright and everything's moving around me.
Because I feel like he needs one.
He's not
How
now.
easily can we get low enough to pick up some people and then continue elsewhere?
He doesn't have the strength to actually command it or magic.
There isn't much power left in the ship.
Speak up, son!
There isn't much power left in the airship. It could potentially lose power on the way of reascending again after the descent to land, so I personally suggest we land it before anything else happens. The marketplace seems the best because there isn't many houses there.
Quick bounce out of character. How's it getting power?
Magic.
Is it sort of just magic?
You don't know. It hasn't been disclosed to you how the power of the ship works yet.
Okay.
Does this guy know?
I keep
Was it-
Back in
He
character.
apparently
The
does
power
seem
of
to know
magic.
because
Okay.
he apparently
How do we get more power then?
magic.
I can't.
I just kind of look at you like, this is
I can't
fucking
press
for real.
the Does it work?
It's a little hard to explain at the moment. It's sort of
Magic.
it's a core based. Can we land it? I
Do
can-
we just need to funnel magic energies into the core?
More or less, yes, but we can't do that at the moment because it requires me showing you where that is. But we can't have more than 2 people up here, and it's.
Nice.
Can we? He says more. He's freaking out.
And land the ship, and then you can make it better again.
You and I can be here controlling it.
Yep.
He can go to the core, yes?
Hmm.
Yes.
Point where the core is.
Downstairs.
Just downstairs.
Downstairs.
Be more descriptive,
Where's Paul?
or we might lose a finger. And not from me.
I'm gonna bite you soon, buddy.
He starts to move away from the controller and stops and goes, "Can you stand here and when the ship starts to move, just move."
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how to say left and right from
He has to roll for that again.
Fergal spec.
I've learned how.
The F word. In
You have
D&D
not learned.
Wordlands.
So you guys can level it, and he now knows that both of you are on either side. As you notice the ship to move, you can move a lever to keep it adjacent. He walks around to the side of where all these sort of terminals are, and pulls open a drawer and pulls out a sheet of paper that looks like a map,
Okay.
and then wanders over to you.
He's making himself useful. Good.
And he wanders over to you and shows you this weird-looking map of the ship, which it wouldn't seem familiar to you, but as he describes it to you, he explains how you've got to enter through the upper deck area, which you are aware is above you
Up that
guys.
top area.
And he explains how it's downstairs, and it's into the main drop hangar area, but it's actually behind something else, and you've got to do something else. And he basically talks you through how there is actually a process of opening things to actually get to it. It's not a case of it's there, it's a case of you've got to follow these instructions. And then he hands you this random looking key and says this will open you up so that you can actually access the core. And then I hope you can cast spells, because for an hour of flight requires one level 1 spell set.
I know what I would do.
Can I talk to Falcor?
Falcor is in your head.
Alright. Can you just power the ship?
You get this.
It's a man.
Just look. Can you just do it so we can land? You don't have to go through any of those doors. I'm speaking out loud as well. I'm just saying, you could just walk through the walls and just help us.
So you've already.
You're just watching like this thing.
Are you
I
wanting?
can feel
You've
that
figured
this
so
is
far
just
that you can
stupid
play.
Are you wanting?
Yeah.
Are you
I
wanting
would just
to
punch my
fuse
way
the-
through
So I'm assuming we need him to power the ship so we
Seriously,
can
like,
land it,
fucking
right?
kidding
Or is
me?
it?
That just needs a spells cast into it to repower up the ship. So the battery's running low,
You
basically.
just go downstairs and gas it up.
Yeah, it's
That's
basically.
what she
Didn't
was
he say
planning.
there was like a whole like
Yeah, the
intricate
door.
thing?
You have magic, man.
Doors.
Just magic.
No. From my interpretation, how Sam explained it, there's a whole lot of things before you can actually get to the
Idiot.
power lock.
Yeah, it's
Punch
basically
through
you've
the
got to
floor.
pull this, open this, pull that.
That's what I'm saying. Can't Falcor just
Sorry, what?
phase
Yeah,
through it?
exactly.
Falcor wouldn't be able to
That's
phase
my
through it. It's just doors and things.
Okay.
It's not intricate to the point that it's confusing. It's just.
Oh, okay. It's just
It's
basically,
not-
that's
Open
the way.
this panel, slide that.
So that's
panel,
the way he was
slide that
explaining. I
panel.
thought it was like a safety thing.
It's that.
yeah.
Although to be fair, I saw someone struggling with that. So.
I saw a kid put a hose in there once. That's
Oh.
hilarious.
Oh,
The point I was making is it wasn't a case of him saying go to this room and do this.
Yeah.
It's a case of he had to actually show you the instructions and what to do.
Okay.
Which, with this note that he's given you, you
That's
can
so
do.
long.
I go then.
You need to go to bulkhead 15,
Man.
and disconnect the EPS conduits from 3 different junctions.
All at 45-degree angles, though.
With some fun bullshit.
So as-
Yeah, I go.
So you go downstairs.
Puzzle rooms.
About a minute or so after Aaron has actually left, the computers in this area here.
Computers.
The computer orientating system, like
Console?
the consoles, that's the word I'm looking for.
Like 24 levers on either
Yeah,
side.
you just got to give up one spell, level 1 spell. slot.
Just for now, yeah.
Yep.
Look at
Okay.
early they.
All we need to do is
You
land
tell me
it.
this fucking
Huh?
boss
All we need to do is land.
real man.
So you go in and you see this weird looking chamber thing with like a gem in the middle. And you've actually seen this sort of stuff before. It's a very primitive version of how
Oh, I know exactly what
you know,
happened.
you know what it is, but it's a primitive version of.
Then why'd you fuck it?
No, I don't know the control system.
Can't drive it. You can just.
Do you know how the wiring and the motherboard work on your cell phone?
I do, actually.
Wrong person.
Do you know how the
Person,
engine
wrong
in your car
question.
functions? from
No,
start
no
to
clue.
finish, but you know how to drive it.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's the reverse situation.
Yeah, so
here.
punch through the floor and put some power in there.
He's an engineer, not a pilot. Come on.
That's stupid engineering.
I'm not even an engineer.
No, I'm the engineer.
And he's actually technically more of a pilot, seeing as he can fly with a bear.
He's the apprentice on week 1.
Sorry.
You
That's
come
what
across
he
this
is.
core that has this like primitive looking power source gem that you put your hand onto and you can feel
pretty
it
much
wanting
shit out
to
the
have
hose,
siphon
you know?
stuff.
Hmm.
And you go to cast just any first level spell and essentially it gets siphoned into this and you essentially lose one level 1 spell slot. And this gem lights up. The consoles in this area sort of brighten up a bit more and a green light in one part of the room sort of flickers back on from being red. There looks like there's a few more bulbs that are in this area.
That's a
They look
battery.
like
Yeah.
there is a few more bulbs that are completely dim lit, and there is just the one green one that's gone.
I really need to talk to Fitz about getting like a one-person running operation set up.
I like to think it's Flintstones. There's a bird going, ding dong, car's full.
You can. He's a single unit.
A flying unit that you can jump on and tell me where to go. And your personal ship.
I walk
Yeah,
back
I'm
up.
the other one that doesn't talk back.
And also this can carry
The
the
AI
arms.
system in the ship turns on. Hello there.
John, it's two.
No!
So it's like flicker of a head.
Where would you like the airship to go as you know how to flies in the sky?
To the marketplace? Well, I want to pick him up.
Oh.
If you come along, you come along.
Alright, so you're gonna fly.
I want
So
my
you-
other
you
engineer buddy!
You
You better
first
not
go-
roll low, or else we get
Where are
smushed on the
you
ground.
suggesting that they go?
Because
You guys are. Whereabouts are you guys?
The airship is too big to be able to land on this side of this path
Can you
area.
just like drop a rope or something?
Just land in the marketplace.
Yeah,
They can get there their own way.
They've already watched it go.
Can we roll a perception and
Yeah,
assume it's
now
for
you
us?
see it gracefully glide
You-
down.
It's the ship you were on.
You can assume by the fact that it's both had Falcor land on it and move around, and you know that that was what they were arguing about, and then Luggage has just been like clotheslined by it. Obviously, there's rumors going on there that maybe the rest of the party's there. So you guys can deduce, okay, we'll stop this. Like you actively, yeah, we'll stop this game. We've got to go.
We gotta go! We gotta go!
I can play for hours, but important business.
As you guys are packing up and getting up to leave, and you walk past a guard who flicks you a coin and says, "I saw
Wiping
you
your
lost.
tears
Sorry,
away.
man."
Did you say sorry man or sorry babe?
He said, "Sorry, man."
Oh, I thought you said sorry babe for a second.
I heard that too.
Maybe he did.
So the airship.
Thank you for keeping the
Only
peace
they will
card.
know.
Fitz will flick him a gold coin.
It's not my fucking day.
That's like 2 weeks worth of wages.
Yeah, probably. So you guys are hovering the airship above the market, or flat out landing?
Oh,
the
I'm
airship?
sorry I won't use you as my personal flying device.
I have no issue with that.
This issue with the gold coin.
Drew,
No,
are you,
I'm taking a breath
you
because I'm
landing
just
in the
remembering that I
marketplace,
now
or are
have
you
to pay
hovering?
everything.
Last
time I went in solo, I almost.
I
I'm
just-
gonna go for low enough that we can like throw up a rope ladder or whatever.
Okay, so you hover down basically and just sit in place.
Like, what up?
Luggage.
Climb!
You have started.
I'll chuck down the
flying.
rope later.
How far
You
out
got
do you
good
go from
climb.
the city?
Climb,
to
bitch.
Luggage?
I'll at least get to the wall. I want to take an initial look to see how many
Come on,
people
cat.
there are.
roll for it anymore.
Like
No, if it's a
how
ladder,
big a
it needs to
camp
be
it is.
fine.
It's a rope ladder.
From
Yeah, roll-
starting at least there.
As
You're not
you
climbing
get to
up a
there,
sail,
you
you'll
hear
be
a bunch of
alright.
shouting.
Well, I have
below
climb speed, you know, so.
and there were a few guards who's like, "Is anyone else? Are you
You're
with
all
us?
humbly
Are you with them? What's going on?" Because you're just flying Warforged. It's just, and they're sort of aiming a couple of sort of bows, and a couple of them have some firearms, and some have like clenched swords, and one goes, "That's not aces." And another one goes, "No, it's the other one. It's the hero one."
Hello, friends.
And the guards are just rambling to each other below you.
Kind of hover down almost Superman style, just like looking at them.
They all in a group.
You
watch
land sideways and fall
land,
over.
Sort of, as you land onto the wall, the group kind of all sort of mumble to each other, and then one of them is pushed forward, and he goes, "How can we help? Hero Luggages."
Close enough. Designation luggage.
Right, cool. And there's a
Yeah, he's
couple of
definitely the
members
nice
behind
guy of us.
Enemies.
Yes.
That ain't my name.
they've been everywhere. Yes. You want an update?
Head count.
Oh. Turns back and goes, "Who's been watching them like the most?" And there's a couple of mumbles. And Jerry has. No, Jerry's been over there. No, Frank. What? And there's a bit more argument, and then the entire group turns, and there is a Tabaxian who is sitting on the wall, who's not in guard uniform. Who's been watching this entire camp the entire time, and they go, "Well, he's not one of ours, but I mean, he's been watching the whole time."
I know how Tabaxis work. And pull out a silver coin. It's like king, king,
question.
king,
You
king.
notice his ear go, and his head just goes,
You want coin?
"Hey, what's going? Yes.
How many people?
Oh, people. Oh,
Bad people.
oh. Worth lots of coin. Yes, of course, lots of coin."
One silver coin in my head. Yes, lots of coin.
And he stops and then looks back over at the people and goes,
You're the only cat I know that can count, so.
and then looks back at you and goes,
no.
"Keep paying coin. I tell you, stop for head count."
lift off the ground and float over to. I can do it myself.
Oh, it's coin for head count, then you don't have to count yourself. Just give coins and I tell you when to stop, and that's how many.
Okay. You can put out 1 copper. And put it in his hand.
That is correct. There is more than that now.
Another copper.
Okay.
I'll keep on giving him copper coins until he tells me to stop.
He will tell you to stop once you have given him 45 copper coins. And he will go, that is them. And then puts the coins.
They're like fourth time.
Yes.
And then
Yeah,
stops
I'll
and
play
looks back at you and goes, there are other things that are not people.
I'm not anywhere close anyway.
No.
I can't help you.
There are more units than I expected.
Tell me more.
Turn to the guards.
Who have been watching this entire exchange.
I assume there is some form of a horn, noisy, something to bring alert and alarm to people.
Yep, he points to the guard. So like the walls go along this, and there's like an alcove kind of tower sort of thing built into it, where it's like little outposts set up. And he says, "Yeah, we can send out things from those."
Yeah, there's a rooster.
Have any of them gone into the water?
No.
Cheaper than a bell.
Keep your eyes on them. If any of them either move towards the city or move into the water, call the alarm. Try and attempt to contact myself, Luggage,
Okay.
or Drew.
When they first were there, it looked like some of them were, I think, throwing each other off the cliffside, but they don't appear to have been paying much attention to it now. They haven't done it recently.
Were they fear screams or joy screams?
I guess it would be both. Like,
They don't know. They're freaking goblins and hobgoblins.
There are human things in there too. The kid Tabaxi said there's 45 humans.
Well, if they're going off the cliff, are they swimming under?
they're just dropping down and going for
What do you think?
Yeah,
When I
everything's
heard there were
probably a
people over
human
here, I
tool.
flew straight over. They were already over in this door, now they're over to this door. So there are some that have been tossed in, possibly scared, possibly having fun, who knows. But there's at least 50 plus people in there.
Are we going to find them all exhausted and asleep in the
Well, my plan is to now come back to you people, tell you what's going on, and possibly go underneath to go and find them from the back door. Technically the front door to us now. Now, give him a nod, and pull out a silver coin and throw it into Tabaxi. Keep eyes. You let them know if people come close.
you'll pay coin?
I give you coin.
You'll pay more coin if I tell them updates?
I will give you more coin if you give me enough warning to get here before they get to the wall.
Careful, they're coming now.
I look over.
There's nothing yet.
This guy's great.
I give you ample warning.
No more coin, and I fly away.
You've learned from me not to trust him.
Well, I have a feeling this is one of the Tabaxis that stole coins from us by coming out like this. Hey, I know they like coin. Alright, so at least I know there are 45 plus people over there, or beings over there. Some have been thrown into the water. Yeah, I know I can't handle them on my own. Very useful information.
Drop the
Yeah,
ship
for
on
luggage,
the
that
dock.
is useful information.
Because I would have gone in on my own if there was about 5 people, and that could have been 5 level 20 people, and I would have been absolutely murdered. But man, cool. I will probably by
I'll
this
give
point
you,
have to
based
start
on how
moving.
far you're away, it looks like what's happened is they've actually cordoned off this lower half as well. They've basically created a base camp here. It seems to be more strategic than anything else. They don't look like what you've been stressing about. It doesn't visually look like that's what's happening.
You got
Almost
some
like they don't
budgie
understand the
nuts.
significance of that.
Yeah, I'll find out shortly when I go inside.
Oh,
Go
it's
inside.
designed for me.
Cool. Probably make it about halfway back and have to land, and then start walking.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Just due to time constraints on my own flight. Making sure there are no other random.
What are you guys doing? So the airship lands. You guys get through and down, and
Can I try and wild magic the core?
it's not quite how it works.
Damn it, I want to make it
He
super
wants
strong.
to try and cast a spell, and if he casts a spell,
Well, basically, the way it works
Sucks
is
me off.
you go to
It
cast
does it.
you cast a certain level spell, and instead of the spell being activated, it just takes the energy used to cast it.
so even if you did wild magic, the
It
wild
would-
magic
so-
power would be in there, and it wouldn't affect it.
Yeah.
We've landed, right?
Basically,
Okay, so I walk over to the guy.
As
I feel like
As you've landed, you've
critical
defused
moment.
the alcohol.
Oh, I was just about to do this.
Okay. Yep.
I'll go to the guy, put my hand on I'll be like, we'll work on your courage soon. And then as it happens, I diffuse the beer like comes out from me.
The beer is just, and then it just kind of flops down behind you and just goes. You still look majestic, but not as majestic.
How does the guy react to a beer coming out of me?
Proceeds to shit himself.
He just stares.
Hey, Frank.
You think for a moment that it's like whatever you're attempting to do hasn't worked, but you realise
I wasn't trying to scare him.
No, you just look at him and you realise it's just basically.
That's not normal.
I think we've broken him.
And he basically just stands there like that.
I light up my pipe and I get him to take a smoke of it.
Should he really be
How does
driving
that-
under the influence?
How does that,
Is it driving or flying?
It's about relaxing.
Potato.
It's about relaxing.
You notice his eyes just kind of droop. Thank you.
Go.
Hi, beer.
Go have a sleep.
Okay. And he starts.
Oh yeah, you were looking at me like that exactly. It's like,
he's,
No, don't have a sleep.
oh,
Don't worry, I'll help.
you're not there yet.
Damn it.
You're still running.
Is he there?
Not yet. The ship is just
Yeah, you're
landed
not allowed
down.
to go
You guys
anywhere
are making
yet.
it to the bottom of the airship at the moment.
You're in the
We're not
Yeah, he is.
stopping here.
He will stop and go, oh. What is the plan?
Yes, it's very effective.
as I'm smoking it as well, unaltered.
Immune to
I feel like the landing is going to be compromised.
No, it has landed. It's
Oh.
essentially hovering, like you guys coming into the market have seen. I can keep up on that side there until someone else comes, or I can.
Yeah, no, you're staying here until someone comes to relieve you.
Don't worry, it will wear off in about 5 minutes.
He wanders back over. He wanders back over to it and just goes, cool. He's technically immune to fear at the moment.
I'm chilling with him.
Well, a plus side, I won't get infuriated by it.
I want to test
Another plus side, if we go against like whites or things, we can just get high. Well, you guys can.
Yeah.
Well, it depends.
Depends how much
But
he has left.
Drew probably won't touch it because it's been given to him by a human.
This one's
Don't
growing
trust.
plants for his skooma. You could give him some of the plant to grow.
Hi, there you go.
I really want to tell them.
Alchemist.
Alchemist with her body.
Cool. So, Luggage, you are back in the marketplace. As you're running back and the airship has come down, you
I
notice
am
coming
Goblin
from the
walking
opposite
away.
side of the marketplace is Fitz and Johnny. And some of the guards have sort of walked around the airship and they're kind of looking at it. They know it's yours because you pointed it out to them before and they're just sort of looking about and like, oh, are you wanting this? What? And they're just sort of talking to each other.
Put my hands down. Alley-oop.
I'm just gonna
Yep, I'm in.
use a role-player now.
Yeah,
You gonna throw me?
the side of the ship does have a bunch of ropes that are attached to it.
I wanna be
like
thrown.
side maintenance, so you can just climb up the rope ladder.
I will stand in front of the rope ladder. Put my hand down like this.
Can I roll a performance? I want to do a flip.
To alley-oop.
Yeah.
Roll me a
Dex, is it?
acrobatics
Oh.
and roll me a athletics.
7. Thank God I have.
Whoop, bang!
Alley smash!
I want to know how well Luggage throws your first.
I'm like, whoa, fuck, what am I hitting? Wait, does this thing have like propellers or something, or is it just magic?
No, it's just magic.
It's got wings that come out the side of it. That
What if I hit the wing?
Hold on.
16.
Oh, thank God.
So you run and you go, haha, and you miss Luggage's foot to put you put your foot onto his hands to grab. You miss it slightly, and you end up getting your knee there instead. And so Luggage flips you, and you go backwards. You just crash behind you instead. You land on your feet though,
Hear this.
but you don't go up.
That was
Does anybody throw gold? Shit.
You were meant to go.
You want to go check that out?
Put my hands down again.
Yeah, let's
I'm
go
gonna walk
again.
out.
We've got this.
Look over. What's going on?
You walk out.
I roll a 2 again.
Fitz's head pops up next to you.
As he does that, I blow it into his face.
So, what did you say?
I
2
roll a 2 again.
and 24. This time you hit the building.
You run to try and put your foot into his hand again, and actually just completely misjudge it entirely, and just step straight down, and all the momentum goes in, so you're face palming his hands, and he just goes, and you just flip backwards and just crash on your back on the ground.
This time I'd like to pick him up.
What's going on out there?
Lift his leg up, so not running, just
Yeah,
lift
just
his leg
grab
up
me.
slightly, put my hands under it.
Just toss me.
So, you are meant to put your foot here. Then, when your foot lands there, I push up.
I
You're
am
still
genuinely trying.
Not your head, not your knee.
Johnny is still
All
drunk.
this is happening.
Could always
I
spin
see
around holding on
working
to
out
it. I
maybe
mean,
Alright,
toss him up.
here we
You already
go.
climbed
a
up.
pulley system
Yeah.
for a center console between the two levers that we use to control.
Normally
That's 11.
Good point.
A 19 and 11.
I've got slightly better.
Oh no. That's not good.
You run, you land your foot, Luggage flicks you up, and you go maybe about half as much as if you just ran and jumped at it yourself, and just latch on.
I was going to figure I like
Perfect.
the top of the roof.
It could be possible, but as you think about levers existing and pulling one lever somewhere, it would pull both. But then, what if you wanted to change the direction you're turning it, so you can't quite figure out how a single center console could work based off pulling the levers?
Re-engineer so that they're not over
Get
there.
a few
and
more
they're just
ideas
there.
from someone
Not
else.
just a steering wheel plus up and down.
Fitz will
show you how
it's
done.
That's not
Fitz will
how
go
this-
down the
Make it a
rope
saving
ladder.
throw from the smoke.
Oh, Fitz, can you roll me a con save, Fitz?
You had a bunch of smoke pumped in your face.
Kitty high!
Hi, kitty high!
What do you have issues
Oh,
with?
no.
You're a drug
Shit, I might be driving.
Oh no.
I'm concussed.
Are you going again?
Oh no.
He's got one left, right?
Yeah.
He's got 2 left.
So he used...
One.
Yeah, he's one already.
I thought he used 2.
You only used one.
No, he's
I rolled a 1.
Oh, that would be so funny!
Oh. I mean,
That's not much better.
11?
No, because then he might just fall straight back down.
You feel
I'd grab him.
like you could have come under something from that smoke, but it wasn't strong enough for you, and you just kind of shake off.
Oh.
oh, that was close.
So you go down.
Yeah, Fitz is going to try and get alley-ooped up now.
Damn it!
You show
Oh,
us.
you're gonna try it.
As you go down, Johnny has
Kitty's eyes were
he's
like
sitting
that.
on the side of the
Just
ship.
Woo!
He's climbing up now.
Like
So
dilated
Fitz
and then like
comes
went
down,
back to
you look
normal.
at you.
It was already up there.
I know. Are you going to Elliot?
You must put your foot
I already know.
in here. When your foot lands here, just not your head, not your knee. And then I will catapult you up. And this is when I fell.
It looks bad, but just wait.
That's better than me.
17.
What did you roll?
And
I'm gonna roll exception later.
Can Fitz jump?
Fitz runs and jumps, and as Luggage is sort of in the middle of lifting you, you springboard yourself. And so Luggage hasn't even finished the rest of the push until you've gone up, and he just kind of goes, oh.
I was meant to catapult you.
You're next to Johnny now, who's been climbing the entire time. You basically alley yourself to the same spot that Johnny had climbed to, which is about.
So you just climbed up,
Like this.
got smoke blown on, went down, went back up again.
And I imagine I've got like a bit of blood coming off my forehead and I'm sweating profusely.
I walk back inside.
Very
I say
large
to you,
handprint.
Fitz will race up. He'll obviously get up there before him because he actually has climb speed.
Help me, Fitz!
She's like watching
Lying
me.
in those clothing.
It's almost as Johnny watches Fitz go up, it's almost like he's not actually using the rope on the side, almost like he's just using a claw on the side of the airship.
Fuck you!
At which point the airship starts to move.
Oh no.
I will anchor the ship.
You're not that heavy.
I like to think you just fly up and just grab me
how
from
are
the collar
you
and toss
That,
you.
that
So,
would be a waste.
I walk
of
in and I'm
time.
like, just the crazy one learning how to not catapult. Because I still don't really know your guys' names.
Also, the description of the crazy one sums all three in the month.
Actually, yeah.
That would cover me as well.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
4.
but Drew is the one who was reporting me.
Mm.
That crazy one.
Yeah.
Right, yes, gotcha. Yeah, I will.
The blue one.
The Tiefling.
The blue one.
Just hold.
Oh yeah, I can
Put
describe
all
you
my
by
weight
race.
into these loops as I see if it holds my weight.
Distinguish.
It will hold.
Yeah.
Because I had jumped off it.
The
I had
one
jumped
with
off
the
things
fur.
before. Not
With
climbed.
the fur.
You will remember there wasn't much like you that was on this airship without an airship.
Yeah, but there's a. Actually, never mind. I walk under the ship and go in the
Go,
hole.
go on the hole.
The hole that has not been closed.
Yep.
Yes. Like luggage, you walk into the lower deck area and you notice there's a hole. You could probably jump up and climb up.
I'll fix that.
The fuck?
You just
Give me,
pull a
give me,
switch
give
and
me.
it closes me.
Actually, no. Did you physically see the person?
He saw it.
No, you just turned up and went, "Ah, Warforged." So
Person?
no, Warforged. Pull the actual lever. Pull,
Oh, did
roll
he?
me a perception.
20.
Well, yeah, when you climb up and
I
look
see
around,
all.
you notice a massive lever.
Ignore.
You know the lever is there. If someone says,
There's a magical glowy thing over there.
"No, that's been closed."
There's a wall.
It's like the prison's nuclear button. You can't help but look at it.
Glowy.
With the party more or less reuniting on the airship, we shall call a break here.
Seems good. I'll be back to kill more people.
You're
Actually, I
gonna roll
haven't
to
killed anyone.
drive.
This is the one episode I haven't killed anyone yet.
We've been very well behaved.
Hey, you tried with me.
We
I would argue you did
This is a
lethal
filler
damage.
episode.
You tried to
There's just
kill
nothing going on.
I rolled so bad.
When you're ready.
Hey nerd, do you like Dungeons and Dragons? Of course you do.
Do you like people with New Zealand accents? Of course you do again.
Well, what if we told you there was a podcast that did both of those things in equal measure?
Guess what? Here is. Wake up, bucko. It's called The Fate of Isen.
And it's your new favourite tabletop role-playing podcast.
Except for the one you're obviously already listening to, which is awesome, by the way.
We roll dice, laugh a lot, and tell a surprisingly compelling tale about a plucky group of weirdos.
Hey, who you calling a weirdo?
Who gets swept up in a quest to, quote-unquote, save the world of Isen.
There's action, excitement, and there's a lot of apples. Seriously, there's way too many apples. It got way out of proportion.
Weird as my mother's top lip.
Join us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcast action.
The Fate of Isen, new episodes every Sunday.
Get with it.
See you there.
In a world that is stemmed from the mind of a madman, a dwarf,
I am entering MA. MA is underground.
a cat,
Just a fun little question. Do mushrooms bleed?
a lizard,
So we should kill him first?
an elephant,
Sure, I almost care about everyone else.
and a cow?
No, I'm wearing no armor. I'm a barbarian.
Yes, they band together to fight and escape the drow infested deep down under to bring news of a new threat. This is a tale of the Guardians of the Gigaxy.
Hey there, you beautiful person, you. Do you like podcasts? Well, that's a stupid question because of course you do. Hi, my name is Harley and I'm from the Necropodicon Network. I'm here invading your personal space because I wanted to invite you to come check out our shows. Oh man, we have a whole bunch, just like a big old assorted bag of candy type of deal. We have true crime, comedy, TTRPGs of varying kinds, movie reviews. The list goes on, I just don't have enough spit in my mouth for that. You can find all these shows and more on our website, necropodicon.com. We also have cast and crew profiles for every show on the network. What that means is, you get to see our beautiful faces. For free! The website is constantly being updated, so come on over and have a good time. What are you waiting for? No, seriously, what are you waiting for? You're on your phone, right? Or computer? All you have to do is, I'll let you figure it out by yourself.
Hello, mate, and Towsels is here. Do you want candy? Do you want candy, mate? I don't have any, but do you want one?
That's what gnomes do. We have toilet rugs.
Can I take something home with me?
Well, that depends on what it is.
Bag of hawk shit? Touches his face with a very large scarred hand that is also covered in hawk shit.
Grisham lets you, but only because you're huge and intimidating, and he just kind of grimaces while he massages shit into his cheek.
And
we'll begin this scene. Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Gnome.
A gnome, not a child. A fully grown gnome. They're
He's
just
a little baby gnome.
they're just small.
You want to sit on my lap, mate?
We don't get any taller.
They're just small.
They're just small.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Ben for what? How you going?
Hi, I'm Marley Craft.
Hello.
Nice to meet you, big man.
Hello, little fella. Ben Four mutters to himself, "You've done well, mate." Fat men like bluff.
So you take a seat. He glares at your shit sack.
The slowly expanding pool.
Yeah, the liquid
that's
is like
coming out
seeping
from
out of
it.
Yeah.
And he makes a show of picking it up gently as if he respects it, and then very kindly, like, putting it on the floor, not far away from the other sacks, but not on the same table.
Ben Four shouts quite loudly, "It's a good move, mate. It's full of shit."
Also eating a muffin. I'm sorry, I was eating a muffin. It was a very good muffin. Where I was in the bathroom stall and I overheard these young folks, and I just wanted to come down, and I've always wanted to do good. So here I am. Trestle spoon.
Just says trestle spoon at the end of every sentence.
And to do good, Trestle Spoon.
I was just hanging out with my two best friends. And they seemed to be pretty into it.
We don't know him.
Yeah, it's a common joke what we make with each other.
Naughty.
So as you guys have all reconvened on the top deck, as the airship is still... it's basically sitting in the marketplace area. It hasn't gone anywhere yet.
Hello, friends.
It's coming up closer to late afternoon now.
We have been fighting for a while.
Yeah, most of the day has gone.
Is there a bed in the ship?
A bed?
Yeah.
Are you asking any of the party this specific?
Is there a bed anywhere?
Yes.
I turn to the guy.
And
You got the map.
The guy who...
Oh yeah, is there a bed on the map?
The map that you've got looks like it's
okay, I clarify.
Okay. Lower deck
You
map.
ain't got shit, sorry.
Probably could sleep in the lower deck once we shut the door.
Should we make a couple copies of that key too?
Hmm.
For the
What key? I don't know what you're talking about.
magic users. Yeah, you can't light all.
Yeah, I know.
He was standing there.
The very stoic looking guy.
So they're listening to everything.
Before, freaked out.
I'm not lying. I'm
very calm. Looks to you and goes,
half lying.
below deck there are some cables.
Sweet. High five him. I'm going to bed.
Oh yeah, he's still.
Finally, someone who's fucking cooperative.
So what's your name, son?
I'm Ronald.
Ronald. Where's the place people can sleep here?
Just sit downstairs.
Oh, dude. Hey, did you say that before? I was not paying
like-
attention. I was too busy.
We were chatting about keys and.
What's the
coffee
last
and-
bit? Unless you...
You'll
unless,
need
of
one. I'll
course,
need
you're,
one. Probably give one to you.
Captain.
And one to you.
Captain.
But
Yeah, the
not
captain.
to him.
Is it a magical key or just a key?
Well,
For the love of
It's the
God.
key
No,
to
that's
get
what his
into
last
the,
name
He
is.
points
core,
behind
so that we can-
what's
Goblin's
covered
the
up.
owner, not the captain.
The fuel tank.
He points behind him to what looks like a
The
slightly...
captain doesn't own the airship.
I wait for him to finish.
He points behind him, sort of nonchalantly, at a slightly discoloured wall that, closer inspection, you realise is a different type of wall to the rest of this room. And he goes, the captain usually goes through there.
I pointed at True.
I pointed at True.
Because he said, unless you're the captain.
Oh, hello.
You're the owner, not the captain.
And at that point, I turn
Tomato,
towards
tomato.
you.
Captain just commands the fleet
I
that uses the
take
ship.
a step closer. Can you
A
fly the
pirate captain owns the ship.
ship?
Pirate?
Drew understands how to fly
You
the
have
ship.
the key.
He has the leadership qualities.
If you don't have the key, you're not the captain.
Ownership. Ooh.
To what?
This key.
Can I slide of hand?
No, that's the key to the door.
That's the engine key.
Where was the last place you knew that key to be?
With the captain before.
Wait,
Am I
we
still
killed-
in the room?
No, the one that looked like him, but slightly cleaner.
Racist.
Like you?
No, the luggage unit.
Aces. Aces is going.
We're gonna get that key from him.
Why do we need this
No,
key?
I can.
What does
Also,
this key
we
open?
do.
We just want to get into this.
The oddly coloured wall behind him because captain's quarters.
Pull
Can I-
out zip.
No, leave it. I can get into it. It's fine.
Jared rigged that door open for you.
Fitz will just.
Like
Pull
we
his claw
literally
out.
both have lock. Like we.
And
can pick
double
the door.
proficiencies in lockpick.
Fitz will open.
Is the door magical?
I would like to advise you all
Say.
that there are at least 4 dozen, if not, oh yes, at least 4 dozen enemies over there in the lake where we were going before.
What's so special about a lake?
Should drop some bombs.
Can
on
I
them.
attempt
It is an
unlock the
entrance to
captain
our
quarters?
Go for it.
Why do you live in a lake?
I heard all this
I
while
do
walking
not.
away.
It's an entrance.
So I just
My guy doesn't know.
I'm assuming you guys are in the
Luggage doesn't care.
Oh, yeah.
He's an
Doesn't
answer.
know.
I do not live in there.
But it's an entrance
We
to
have
the
ship
lake.
just
But you're
generally
saying you don't live in a
stabilized,
lake.
like, step away.
Correct.
Yeah, no, it's
There's
in
another
stable
entrance.
mode.
What would it be
Towards
to
the bridge
undo a
over
lock?
there.
Oh,
dexterity.
magical things.
Unless you're
Yeah,
trying
makes sense
it's
more.
dex.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
no,
quick
that's
with
right.
it's,
They
it's,
remember that.
It is
So it'd be
technically
plus
meant to
4?
be dex plus
Yeah.
proficiency if you're proficient in it.
So 13.
You walk up and you start fooling around with it. You guys watch as Johnny is bouncing from one side of this wall. He's doing what you would normally expect someone to unlock a door with a massive looking thing.
I'm doing it, however, with a rapier. It's not coming off.
You're walking around and snipping
Measuring it out.
You then realise that this door is magically closed somehow.
Can I
And
persuade it to
And you
open?
probably can't physically unlock it with anything. You need some sort of way to deal with it. And the
What's the
mention of
wall?
key makes you realise it probably responds to that key existing.
What's the wall
As
made out of?
I assume he
That would be a real shot in the dark. I might have illusion
probably
the key.
You've never seen it.
Exactly. Real shot in the dark.
I would like to call out loudly enough to Henry to hear. Do not cast Dispel Magic.
I won't. Last time it wasn't my fault, okay?
I'm not saying it is. I just understand that that's arcane. So is the ship. We want the ship to continue to function.
I hope I don't cast some magic in my sleep.
What are the
Can I
walls
cast
made
reduce
Priorities
size
are
and reduce size of the
Sleep
door?
walking.
No, because
it's magical.
You would also you would be targeting
the
So,
ship.
what else?
The door is part of the ship.
Okay.
Like if you try
What
to
is the
enlarge
ship
my
made
arm.
of? Is it like wood? Like the walls inside where we are?
Can I shocking grasp it?
It's made of wood. If we want the key, let's just go walk over to Alice's and grab
Can
it.
we just bash through the wall? Skip the door.
Firstly,
But then you're gonna have to build another wall.
Give us a
aside from
chance.
This is our
just
ship.
being
Why are we
the
breaking it?
captain's
I got a
quarters,
spell
what
to
could
fix
potentially be
that.
in there that we may
Not
need
magical.
For the ship?
He turns, looks to you and
You
goes,
couldn't pull the lock back in place.
potentially? Not
Yeah,
sure.
but the wall. I can fix the wall.
I think I've
Yeah,
seen a
and then it
desk
won't
in
be
there
able to
with
unlock
papers
anymore
and
because the
things.
magic
where
to open it won't work.
Personal room? What do you keep in a personal room?
Magically
He
sealed.
could have a lot of plans and stuff.
The wall. I mean,
In
the
there.
wall, not the door.
Plans, yeah.
He could have
The
nudity
wall is a door.
magazines.
He could
The
have
wall
nudity
is the
Oh
door.
my god!
You know,
High five again!
In
Now
the middle of that high five, you notice his eyes start to widen a bit more. The effect has sort of dipped off him, but he's still kind of calm.
I'm not yelling at him, I mean.
We have
He's blending into being relaxed.
We have higher priorities than getting inside the captain's cabin of a ship that we now own.
Do you know how to play cards, Ronald?
Okay,
Yes.
also
Not
nobody's
now,
asked
distract him instead.
Nobody's asked his last name, and that's driving me wild.
We're all thinking it. Let's just leave it.
Okay.
McDougal.
You motherfucker.
Shall we go get the key from Aces?
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea, yes.
Falcor,
There may
stay
be
with
information
Ronald.
there.
We're gonna go get the key.
We could confirm
Ronald
plans
hears you
for
say that
defense.
and looks at Falcor a little worried.
We
Falcor
could
walks
know
up to
exactly
him
what
and
they're
sort of
doing.
leans into him, and his face of worry seems to go into a bit of confusion. And then looks back at you and goes, talks.
And it will look after you and make sure you don't run away.
The sense of calm that was over before was back to a bit more worry again. But he actively...
Well, we're building trust, Ronald.
He actively looks like he's... He doesn't look like he's going to do anything. He just sort of looks at Falcor, who just kind of blankly stares.
Like, the
half
ship's
asleep.
landed. He has... If we leave him, he can gap it. I'm not making him gap
this
it.
guy already, alright? You don't have to keep pushing it.
Well, I mean,
ours now?
He's mine.
Well, if you don't want him to run
He's
away,
ours.
Fitz will summon one of his turrets. And he'll place it on the back, on his back.
To
with
be
an
fair,
actual
it wouldn't
turret
matter.
facing the back of his head.
I want a minion.
I know how to run this.
Yeah, but I want a
Suicide
minion.
Squad it.
I don't care about the ship. I want a
You want
minion.
a willing minion?
Yeah, I'm gonna blend him.
He's going to train
Turn him into my...
Also,
Oh, the grooming.
Servant.
turret.
also, you
Flame
know that
turret.
thing called Falcor?
He's
Not a minion at all?
No, he's my buddy.
He sits down and the turret
Just
just
an
sort of
order for a
aims
minion.
at his head and he just kind of sits there and goes, I'm not going anywhere. It's safer here than anywhere else, to be honest.
Are you hungry?
Does this place have a kitchen?
Not that I'm aware of. It's a short-range ship. It's not designed for long travel.
Are you
I-
hungry?
Short range ship.
Fitz, can you help me build a kitchen?
Yes.
How far short range?
Where did it come from?
Wow.
Certain levels of magic power
Some
can go
fireball
off for
and just
about an
light
hour
some
at a
wood on
time.
fire.
Well, I got the flame
Lights
turret
and
out.
it's-
We can make a
It's got
fire
about
right
8
now.
hours of total energy that it can hold.
I'm gonna look at wood, it's true.
Where did it come from on a map? On a world map?
I don't know.
You're driving it though.
I don't know where it came from. I was just told to drive this one.
Where did you leave Doc from?
The bush.
Who are you?
8
From
hours
where?
away?
About 5 hours away.
How'd you get an airship to a bush?
In that direction?
Did someone else drive it there?
I guess so.
Got a
Goblins and hobgoblins. They
strange,
know.
convoluted plan. You let bunny hop in the airship in different locations.
Alright,
Well, they're not allowed to have shifts longer than 5 hours.
plan of attack. Go get the key so that we can open up to maybe get some more information.
He's
Or
awfully
we could beat the crap out
calm.
of the Warforged to get
I don't
information.
trust it.
We don't need to, he's already captured.
Yeah,
Need his
we
key.
want to get information from him. He's like the
Okay, we can do that and get the key so that we can get any information that he has in his quarters. Our quarters.
Also,
Our?
Fitz don't
I don't
trust
need to
him.
sleep.
I paid to sign home.
Weren't you going to find a bed?
No.
He was going to, but
he's redecorating the
That was
inside.
Drew
Yeah,
asking him to.
I have minor illusion little overalls. I'm decorating.
I will pop off.
What about the lake attack?
That's part of why we're going there to inform Aces. He's
Okay.
pretty much in charge of defense. There's still men over there.
Okay.
Inform, gather,
Is this whole thing made out of wood?
then fly.
Yes and no. It's wood with like. What
I was gonna
looks like
finish
steel
my plan of
built into
attack.
it, so it looks like-
Is the wood like the
Good luck
clay?
finishing any sentences.
Okay, cool. Can I take an axe and start making rooms?
There are rooms downstairs.
It's chaos. I love it.
I got to play my character how I wanted to play him originally.
I'm redecorating. You're gonna knock this wall out. Work on the feng shui.
Surrounded by idiots that just want to keep
If
getting
you
into
go
trouble. What the
downstairs, you
fuck?
will notice there are 6 cabins.
I go down. Man, I work fast. Holy shit.
I would like to show him the hole. Destroying the shit. No. it's
Guys,
not.
there's no stairs. I don't cut a hole. It's like, oh, there's stairs over there. Man, I'm quick at this. I miss my calling in life.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna
getting
jump
off the ship.
and start walking.
Yeah,
Can we
same.
get Falcor to wrangle this one?
Yeah, look after the other one as well.
Falcor has this look of seriously on his face.
You have permission to bite him as much as you want.
What the goblin said.
Falcor moves to you quickly and leans into you, and you get an image of something you've seen him turn into before, and sort of like a, can I do this?
No, we need him alive.
he leans back, sort of moans to himself, and then goes and sits down. He goes and just sits down, sort of watches you, and then turns and watches the guy who's got the gun turret on his back of his head again, and then goes back and looking at you again.
I like to think every time I hold the axe up, he just starts growling. I'm like,
I know why Falco is always so chill. Because I'm giving him these treats. That makes him chill. He enjoys them.
That's why he's still around.
Yep.
Yeah, can you contact Quentin to confirm Ace's location?
Sure. Not a bad idea.
Otherwise we'll waste time. You may want to look at the book to see the reply.
Random shapes.
To see the reply.
I'll let you know when it replies. No point looking at it yet. No, it vibrates, doesn't it?
Yeah, you guys get out of the airship and start.
So I imagine it's like an old school Nokia.
You guys are starting to hear that happens. The book vibrates like it's something's happening.
That would be Ketch's score.
book vibrates like it's R18.
You open it up, and there is a response from Quentin saying castle.
Castle. He's in the castle. At least
Okay.
I heard him.
No, I heard it.
I heard the book.
We ain't getting in that shit.
Sure we are.
We don't know.
Lots lions.
We don't know we can't get in. Only these guys know we can't get in.
Wow. They just know they can't get in.
Swoosh. Can get in anywhere.
I'm currently downstairs carving
But the
everybody's
only
names.
place I can't get is space.
So it's you three?
I guess so.
Are you
at
with
least.
him or are you with them? Okay, so you're on the ship and
I'm just
everything.
redecorating.
You come back to
Vandals is crazy, yeah.
You're with Ronald.
Come
And
back to the
Falcor.
fray,
And
friend.
Falcor.
Back to
He's
the fray.
downstairs in the decks.
Oh.
Yeah, like I'm whittling everybody's names above the door.
Yeah, like
Drawing
Falcon's
happy
got-
pictures.
Falcon's
do a
noticed
bit
you
of
doing
research
this,
to
and
see
it's just
about
decided
making a single
not
person
worth paying
control.
attention to. He's actually gone back upstairs
That's
again.
fair.
Fitz might actually just do research on the airship.
Okay.
So he knows how it operates.
As you're walking through and looking at things,
Big brain.
you can turn and you question Ronald about stuff, who vaguely gives you answers. Like, he's someone who understands how it works, that doesn't know how it actually works. So he says, this does this. I don't know how it does this, but it does this, and sort of breaks down how the ship's layout works for you. There is no such thing as a user manual other than Ronald.
Ronald is our user manual.
Do I ask Ronald a question?
Ricard has a user manual.
No, for the airship.
Yeah, for the airship.
Yeah.
do.
Where is the
Vehicles have.
No, if it has a user manual, it's back at the enemy's base. They're not taking it with them.
Maybe it's in the captain's.
Oh, there you go.
As you,
Big brain.
Big brain.
as you guys are heading to the castle,
Instant D20 knowledge of the ship as soon as you get in
what
there.
are you guys doing?
Sorry.
Well, I am going to just head straight to the castle.
Okay.
I assume with a goblin on my shoulder.
Yep.
Until we get close enough, and then I hop down.
I'm walking by your side as well.
Yep, the three of you. Oh no, if that's yeah.
Good look being
So
scary.
yeah, the three of you
You're gonna ask
get to
about
the
installments.
get to the entrance of the castle, and there are these two guards. These very heavily armed guards as
Yeah,
well.
good point.
One looks kind of a bit on edge, the other one not so much on edge, but they are guarding this door. It doesn't look like it's been opened yet.
Hello,
A
friends.
weird-looking human,
You'll
goblin,
consider asking
Warforged, will go to a castle.
You like
Kind
shiny.
of a bad joke.
This kind of line of a
That's
goblin in
normal.
Warforged is kind of known at least by most people.
I'm still a
I'm
deformed.
basically running this town.
The two guards stand there and just watch you.
Hello, friends.
Hi.
We require communication with Lieutenant Aces, Captain Aces.
Oh, one moment. He turns and
I'm just standing like slightly in front
bangs
of like.
the door, and there's a muffled noise that comes from the other side. They want to see aces.
Nobody sees the wizard, no one know how.
There is a mumble through the door that you guys can't quite understand, and he turns back and goes, "It's in the jailhouse."
Affirmative.
Didn't he say he's in the castle?
Acknowledged. No.
The jailhouse.
But you got a response that said castle.
Yeah, castle jailhouse.
Oh, castle jailhouse.
Turn to the right. We're still in the castle.
Jailhouse is
Yeah, I was gonna say,
this
we know what
section
that
here.
is, don't we?
You guys can move around. There are two
Oh,
ways
okay.
to it. You guys have gone through one of the entrances before. One's by the Athena, one's on the other side.
And we've already been seen as we took our previous prisoners that that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So I haven't walked down.
Yeah, so you guys wander around to one of the side jailhouse entrance area. This one is a little different from the first one you guys had come across, in that it's a bit more like it actually has a proper entrance system to it, almost like the way you went in before was like the back entrance, and this is the front entrance to it.
I assume there are guards in front.
There are some guards in front.
Is Aces inside?
They kind of look at each other, then look at you, and sort of nod
No,
at you.
I feel like
And
I'm
one
going to
goes,
head out the window and I'm like, oh,
Luggage and
for
room?
fuck's sake, that's the entrance.
I don't know you.
He ran. He ran far to me.
God damn it.
His name's Aaron.
No, he
we'll
ran
assume he's
apparently.
safe with you then.
He
Okay,
ran
cool.
to me.
One moment.
He ran.
One of the other guards walks over to the door.
Also known
and
as
looks-
periwinkle to the enemies.
A door slides open and there's a chat, and then it closes again, and then the door opens up, and the two guards stand aside to let you through in.
Forgot about that.
I still
I
remember.
didn't.
They know me as periwinkle.
Come.
So you guys wander into this entrance. You get to the first section of the door, and there is a door in front of you, and there is a guard standing behind
Bigger
it in
than what I
a
am.
protected
Yeah.
4 feet.
sort of section. Who, when you guys walk in, he stands there and he goes, "Coming into here, even though it's under a lockdown, you'll have to relinquish." And then there's a tap on his shoulder, and he sort of turns, and the wall that you can see him turns back into a wall, and then becomes transparent again. He goes, "You guys are fine. You don't need to have the weapon restriction system at all. You guys are good."
Pulling my blade out, huh?
I don't even move to remove anything. I'm not like,
Because he looked like he was holding
I'm a
some
bit
sort of-
confused.
I feel like I poked my head out the window. Oh, I
I
was
just
that
kind of glance
easy?
back at you like.
I'm just like throw a mop out the window.
I give you a little bow.
The door that was in front of you guys opens up.
Thank you.
You guys are allowed to walk in. You walk into
And the golden goblin.
as you guys walk into this next room. it's-
Prestidigitation make you glow a bit.
It's
This
this.
goblin.
You guys
You
walk
can smell
into a
it.
slightly more open room again.
Not discolored yellow.
There are a few guards who are around this room. A few of them seem a little on edge. Some of them are talking. It looks like there's a lot of people who've been walking in and out of different rooms and stuff. And there are a couple of doors that lead out of the rooms. But this is basically a massive mess hall looking area. But all the tables and things have been pushed to the side of this room. It's basically become a
Space for
makeshift
dancing.
outpost.
First humanoid, first person.
First thing was
Okay.
the arms and
The first
legs.
person you see is a dude who's standing like kind of on guard at the door that you've walked through. It's the first one you'll see.
Captain Aces?
Not here.
I was advised he is here.
Captain Aces.
He stops and turns. I'm not Captain Ace. He's somewhere else in there. I don't know. I've been here for like 5 minutes.
Can you point me at someone who will know?
The people
that
in the
guy
room?
pointing at a guy who's basically having every guard walk up and talk to him and ask him questions, and he's trying to answer all of the questions.
Captain Aces!
A bunch of guards turn around and look at you.
Location!
And then realise you're not aces. And then go back to asking this head guard a question again, who's had this moment of, oh good, they're not looking at me, and then they've gone back to him and he's
I go over to that group. Get out the way. Quiet down.
No, I need to know where this is.
No, you do not. You can wait a moment.
I'm gonna enlarge you.
So, he's the size of a normal human then?
Yeah.
Hobgoblin appears.
It's yellow.
And a bunch of the guards sort of turn and look
Gold,
at you.
bitch.
A bunch of the guards turn and go, no, I need to know where this is though.
You can wait a moment. This
But
is
I need
more
to know where I'm
important.
supposed to put this. No, my thing's more important.
I push past everyone without even listening.
Enough!
As he's crumbling to them, I just push past everyone straight to the guy that's looking with a panic on his face.
The guy with the panic on his face is actually eyed up Drew immediately because this goblin just suddenly appeared into his eyesight, and he's actually stopped listening to everyone else.
Good.
And goes, hi,
Where is Aces?
interrogation 3. I'm
Put me
assuming
in the
you want to talk to him.
Yes.
I can't let you into interrogation 3. I can send someone in that direction. And he goes to tap someone's shoulder, but punches him.
I'm okay with this.
And goes, and then he points to the next guard who's sitting there kind of looking confused, like he's been waiting to be told what to do. And he goes, get Aces. And the guy goes, and turns and walks away, and he turns back and goes,
What about the...
Thank you.
Affair,
Now,
items
the rest of
affairs?
you, line up, one at a time.
roll me an intimidation with advantage.
I would like to attempt to stand at the front of the line.
I don't need
Advantage.
advantage that.
The guards all kind of look at you, and then look at Luggage, and then look at the rest of the room.
You heard the goblin!
And start sort of shuffling into a line, and this guy turns to you and goes,
And 10 of them piss their pants. One of them shits his pants.
And are you standing at the front of the line? The guy stands there and he's holding this clip thing. He looks and he goes, hi.
Does the Warforged that came in have positions? Are they here somewhere? Are they with me?
They would have been, if they had been taken from him, they would be under a lock-off area. I'm not too sure what it would be. I'm guessing Aces would know, as he was in charge of
A lot
that.
higher up than you
I
used to.
take steps out.
The next guy.
You don't even move, you just take a step sideways. Just
A guy walks up but can't quite get around you and goes, excuse me, sort of taps you on the shoulder. I can't fit past you. The line needs to move.
I take another step sideways.
He moves up.
I'm trying to put myself in a place of, you better keep order while I'm standing here.
This guy walks up and goes, we've got 3 goblins that have been locked down from the first attack. Which section are we moving them into? And the guy goes, outside post 3. And he goes, okay, cool. He turns and he disappears. The next guy comes in.
Do you just look like an
I'm
ugly
supposed to
elf
have gone
now?
on break 3 hours
So
ago.
what,
Can I
a
please go
human
home?
I look
This guy
like
just looks at him and just gets pissed
I
off.
guess it would depend on how the enlarge works.
No,
If it
He
just
accepts the bottle.
proportions me up, I
And you're just a
probably
big goblin.
Yeah.
You humanoids require rest.
A lot of the guards coming in, a lot of the stuff that they're hearing is things like, we've had a couple of injured people from
Bigger ears.
You'd be huge.
Just
Fucking
reports of things
massive
if you're where things
Yellow
are supposed to be going based on things. A lot of them
Massive
sound like
ears.
they're actually
and blood
enemy
that
units have been
stinks.
captured who have taken medical treatment and are now in lockdown, and what's the next step for them?
And I am a
And
goblin.
they've worked
In like
and
a
worked
suit.
out which units don't know
I like
anything
the
and
goblins
think someone's
have-
been captured.
I'm talking to Ronald.
Partway through this,
Ronald,
you
is
were
there
the one
any
saying
paint? What colour
one
do
of
you
the only
think
wizards we
Warforged
have
is like?
in captivity now has finally worked
Like
out. I think
painting
he was being
everyone's
dragged on
robes.
the ground or something because he's covered in bruises. We've put him in lockdown 4.
He likes black and white.
No, just
Just make get rid of all the colour from everything.
No, I painted all grey.
I'll just keep quiet.
He won't even realise. Oh no, he has colour now.
Things, I will point out to them,
I'm always
to, the
dying
guard,
in my room.
to the head dude as well. There is at least 4 dozen units, 4 dozen men.
That would be
Just
confusing.
borders of fuzzy red paint.
Hold themselves in a defensive position.
As you say that to him, he turns and looks to you and says, "Look, man, as much helpful as that is, I'm in charge of like lockdown prison. I'm not in charge of defence. That's Aces. If you wanted to talk to him, he's coming eventually."
Why is he inside? Why? Ace is in charge of defense. He should be out defending.
Should be looking at the fences.
That's definitely not how that works when it comes to.
There's a grandma Nazi in the corner who's like, I'll fucking pick a fight with you.
I got this one to fight with linguistics.
About 5 minutes goes by, and a door opens, and the room goes completely silent. Is it 5 or 10 minutes for enlarge? Or is it a minute? No, it's a minute. You're back to normal then. The room goes completely silent, and there is the sound of just thud, thud, thud as Aces walks in.
Hello, friend.
Turns and looks and goes, "Unit luggage."
Unit AC3.
Correct. Reports requested.
You have luggage unit in interrogation?
Confirmed.
There's an item we require from him.
Elaborate.
A captain's key for an airship that we
Liberated.
Possession list requested.
Yes, please.
He turns and goes, follow, and turns and then walks out of the room. All the guards move out of your guys' way, almost like they don't want to slow down someone being requested from Aces.
How jarring, talking to a unit so weirdly.
You recognise Ace's unit. You recognise them as being the more intelligent-based ones from your era, usually as commander-based ones. So actually,
Has he got anything that's faulty that I recognise that I could fix?
No.
Probably one. You're looking for defense right off the bat.
Yeah.
He did that with me.
These units very clearly were designed to talk and communicate in battle style. Basically, Aces is acting the way he would look like.
Would normally act? Okay, so I'm used to dealing with it.
It's odd seeing Luggage act like an Aces unit, basically. Because he seems to act with free will, which is basically what Aces units can do.
And it's odd hearing us talk to each other.
I don't find it odd.
You should have
Oh,
heard that.
no. You would find it odd to watch a Luggage unit communicate with an Aces unit normally, because usually the way it would often work is an Aces unit would just look at a Luggage unit and say something without actually being verbally communicated language, and they would just follow it. So having them commune with each other is confusing.
Especially if you've ever watched the
That's my
episode where I
colour.
first met Aces, our conversation was just ridiculous.
It's the monk character.
He was trying to figure out how I'm an LU9 unit, but my name is Luggage.
And also how he was communicating.
Why do you speak?
You guys walk down.
Oh, I see.
Cutie.
And as you guys come into part of this hallway, a door is open and he walks in.
We should have an OnlyFans account.
As you guys walk into this room where he is, he turns around and he places this box in front of you guys, pulls out a ring, places it on the ground, pulls out a strange looking like orb thing, places it there, pulls out what looks like a chatterbook, but it's completely burnt. It's only like the spine of it that's left. Places it there, and stands there and goes.
Can I use mending on there?
Huh?
Can I use mending on there?
No.
Magical light. You could turn it into a
Not
book.
the chat book, but the other two items. I'd like to take a minute each to identify them.
Aces just sits there and watches.
While he's.
Can I try and do that, or is that something only you can do?
So
I can do it as a ritual.
Ritual doesn't cost a spell to do. You know the what a chatterbook is, so we can do that.
Don't worry about that.
The ring is a ring of featherfall.
He cannot attune to the air elements as I can.
And the orb is basically it's a lock orb that you twist and it turns into a key. Basically, and you pick it up, sort of twist a bit, and it just turns into the shape of a key. It's basically a disguised key, but based off understanding of identical, you magically understand what it does.
Yeah.
You know that this will open the door wall in the airship.
This is what I require.
Does Johnny need featherfall?
Purpose?
It opens the captain's door and the airship we've commandeered.
We have
A dragon airship.
Yes.
Dragon airship, yes.
We have requisitioned it from the enemy.
Affirmative.
We require further investigation of the airship. This key.
I'd like to get into mine now.
Spoils of war, confirmed.
Confirmed.
Acknowledged.
I'm currently redecorating it.
Inquiry. Information. Further.
Just before you do that. Inquiry. We take this too. Hold the ring up. Spoils of war.
Confirm.
Thank you.
Technically did not capture, but okay. Got the thing.
Aces stops for a second. Roll me a persuasion, actually.
Error.
Requisition denied.
I think it's a 12.
And then just like slip a gold. Requisition accepted.
Requisition denied.
Yeah.
More gold.
Infallible this thing.
He stops and goes, confirm upon rest of items. Key, confirm, ring, advised, waitlist, top. Confirm?
Confirm.
He then pulls something out and places a sheet of paper in front of you.
I'm closest to getting it.
He places a sheet of paper on it, and basically it's got an item agenda of what it is that you are now commandeering from the barracks.
Is it just a list of all the items that are
No,
there?
it's a description.
Okay,
It's basically
okay.
Drew can write down what the item is and stuff like that. And as you finish writing it down, the Aces unit takes it from you, puts it in front of himself, looks at the item, and then writes down some random number. Obviously, it's
binary code.
It's
ID of the item they've taken in. Looks up to you and goes, confirm reluctant of gold. Error. Aces sits there for a moment and goes, confirm airship over monetary reward.
We were advised by our friends we would be getting installment payments from the King Countant.
Negative. Position doesn't exist.
And
Confirmation. Friends have lied.
Aces. Is that just for Drew? Monetary reward for others still in place?
Aces sits there for a moment trying to calculate.
How much
Party number?
We are one. We are the first party.
4. I'm not part of the party. I'm
Do we count
separate.
Perry? Because I mean, technically he did come with us.
1, 2, 3.
And
I would
Johnny.
count Henry now.
Oh,
Yeah, you might.
It counts to me, I'm painting.
Sorry, bro.
ID notification of Drew.
Wait, here's a
Athena member. Confirm.
Confirm.
Monetary reward to Drew or Athena originally.
Drew.
Airship to Drew. Athena reward to Athena. Luggage unit. You notice this kind of confusion over its face, almost like it's trying to comprehend where your position is at the moment. Monetary reward?
Dude, just bribe him. It's clearly what he's trying to ask for.
He's asking
He's
if you're
trying to
getting
figure out, am I
monetary or
getting
if you get in the
paid?
airship.
Do you have a second airship for me?
Negative.
Discussion with
You
King
are
Countant.
here, aren't you?
Error.
Oh, no, that's
Discussion
right,
with King.
That's right, I'm going to ask about him.
As for monetary rewards, or as to possible rewards. Perhaps housing.
We were going to get a
I know.
money reward.
I'm talking about
Okay.
deciding on something else
Instead of-
later, possibly.
Good.
But
Reduced monetary reward in exchange for airship ownership rights. Confirm.
For Drew, confirm.
For party, confirm. Confirmed.
error.
Sorry, man.
Query. Well, actually,
I mean, I got us an airship.
You notice the Aces unit sort of changes the way he's postured the moment you say that and goes, accepting report.
for the enemies located at Lake, defensive positions, at least 4 dozen humanoid units.
Confirm.
Possible entry to trial.
Confirm monetary system will monitor.
Monitoring
system.
Like, money system will monitor. That's impressive.
But I probably would have gotten.
Technically, yes.
You would have gotten.
If assistance required, LU9 unit provides voluntary assistance.
Voluntary assistance. Noted. LD9 unit will not
You're
receive
doing
monetary
alright.
reward for helping if called upon.
Acknowledged.
Confirmed.
With 10 GP each.
I told you. Because we've been talking. Now it's your turn. What do you want to say to this dude?
I don't need money.
Such
I just want. notoriety. What do you call it?
Fame.
Not fame, but just respect in the kingdom.
A title.
That's it.
I laugh
200G.
miles away for no reason.
Not respect as in like they must respect me, but like they
Error.
trusting.
Error. AC3 unit update. Aces cannot achieve said request. Must request viewing with council.
I'll do that.
You should talk to Quentin.
Query.
I feel like I put a big
AC3
mirror in his
unit.
room.
You actually character
Confirmed.
Recognize guard.
Oh yeah, would he instantly
Yeah,
cast a
but he
guard?
hasn't had that pointed out to him yet because the guard actually has the symbol on the back of you, not the front. He will turn and look at you. So, query. Query. Robbery or original owner of guard.
Original owner.
Error. Impossible. Original owners deceased.
Low probability.
Counterpoint. Time travel.
Are you gonna make
Error.
her explode?
Fiction.
Unforeseen stasis.
Confirm. Units not normally stasis.
Confirm. Serial code.
You know you guys don't have,
AC35. Confirm. Serial code 94.
you guys don't have to say confirm.
I know.
English.
Oh no, I'm speaking to him
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm used to speaking. That's why I am speaking like
Error.
that.
Error. Old. Request. Error. And
Out of game.
You hear a ping on his shoulder, like a panel or something has opened up, but because of the armor he's wearing, it's just hit the armor.
Tink.
Request to examine.
AC3.
Confirm admin privileges confirmed. And his eyes glow and look at you and go. And his front panel sort of opens up to the side, and a small little thing opens up on the side of him. And you know
having a hacking montage.
you notice
90s hacking
which
montage.
you've seen in your past, and Drew, you've seen this as well. Dante's symbol appears on a little monitor on Ace's corner, and it basically an admin thing has just appeared up, and Aces just stands there.
Do I have to type something in or
It's
what?
basically a little keyboard that's in front of you there.
Okay.
And
I'll walk in and type.
None of you can recognise the language on the keyboard on there. It's just
Probably French.
I'll walk in naturally.
The keys are in all different
Luggage, you do not
places.
recognise this language.
This was madness.
Give me a moment. Continue doing your bits.
Alright.
Give me a moment.
I'll go in and type in my personal code, which I assume would be
It's
linked.
guest admin.
69,
Yeah, but
69.
guest admin.
Me and Dante would probably.
That's why you're the guest admin. Yeah. What are you doing?
I don't know.
What do you want to do? You have access to Ace's memory files. You have access to a bunch of his command prompts.
Oh my god.
A lot of the files are corrupted though.
Do a Fallout 4.
Can I do a? Can I try and recover some of the corrupted files?
You go through a process of trying to recover them, and a lot of them that are recovered, and like almost like a memory has just disappeared and reappeared again, like it didn't quite hold straight. And you come across the prime directive of this S unit, which is protect location.
Windows update?
Search location.
Stuck on this.
Is it just this whole area?
It gives you a weird-looking GPS coordinate system, which you figure probably is basically the kingdom, almost like the land he's been requested to protect as his final order was here, and the kingdom just happened to get built up here. Almost like it's just a happy accident. And
It's double luck.
They went, hey, there's an automated guard. Let's build stuff around that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
And there is a sub-file that says protect royalty, which looks like it's a new objection that the Aces unit has created himself.
Huh.
No.
Error.
I don't know why that's dumb.
Self-program detected.
Shit, no. What do you guys want to know? I didn't expect to get this. I actually might.
I kind of walk over.
Well, you have a thing. I've redecorated everybody's rooms. I found paint with Ronald.
endangering or injuring this unit?
Is it from the blood?
Improving.
From people up on the deck.
No.
Did the thing that ping, was it like a damage thing?
It was a diagnostic panel that tried to open on the back.
Your bed is just a ball of yarn.
It is a diagnostic panel that connects the front or the back depending which way it's lying.
I'm just going to put basic information to me in the system so it recognizes me.
You basically tell it to re-acknowledge sub-order to it. And it basically, you notice you see a whole bunch of names start going through it. As it's skimming through, you realise that it's actually royal names of people and things, like don't respect anything. And that comes right up to creative, and then it's blank there, and then it goes down below Aaron, and then stasis deleted, and then it reactivates.
Parts of like the walls and everything just missing because you put them into.
I close it.
Close it up.
You wanted a menu.
You'll be
and then pings up again.
Good to see you again, Aces.
The outer shell is still mostly intact. We should be fine.
Well done with helping to put together this city.
Acknowledged.
Guess we'll be on our way.
Ace unit request to return to normal users.
Confirmed.
And starts immediately.
One more request.
They're pretty rusted. They shouldn't be
The ring.
anymore.
Acknowledged. Ring.
On top of priority list. Can you skip bump that?
It's literally at the top of it.
Like just go like bypass that, or do we have to follow
Requisition
rules?
request.
Error. Ace's unit does not carry authority for that.
Confirm.
Spoils of war authorities trumps based off single unit based guest.
Fair enough.
And then he goes back to putting things in the box and turns and places the box back somewhere in the room and then turns and goes, vacate room.
Query.
Negative. Vacate room.
What do you want to know?
Status of LU9 unit.
That you?
No,
oh,
the other
no.
one.
Oh, that's right. The other one is another LU9.
Yep.
Actually,
that's why they all
What
thought
did
it was
you
me.
do?
status of LU9
He
captive.
woke him up.
Lockdown. Confirm.
Lockdown confirm. What do you mean lockdown?
Functional?
Confirm? Functional, yeah.
Confirm.
Good enough for me. Just wanted to
And
know
no
whether
one
it was
cell
still
design
alive
for
or not.
Ace's unit.
Ah. They won't be getting out anytime soon.
Confirm. There is this smirk noise coming through it, almost like it's proud of this logic. And then it repeats the statement, vacate room.
Thanks.
Yeah, we should probably listen to it.
Vacate room.
Yeah, alright.
It's almost like the...
Settle.
As you guys walk out of the room, the Ace's unit closes the door and just ignores you completely and walks down a different corridor.
Settle.
My friend.
Where are you guys going now?
Back to the airship.
Back to the airship?
I've got the key.
Cool.
I'm
As you approach the airship, I poke my head out, wearing a ship's hat. Go back to Golden. It's time for food, guys!
Fitz roll me an intelligence.
Now and then.
Johnny,
Yeah.
while you're in one of the rooms...
I worked really hard.
He built a kitchen.
Okay, no.
And I fitted 6
I feel
bedrooms.
that messed with everything.
That's
I've
why.
got honor though, so go again.
Oh.
20.
You fuckwit.
You used your last go again, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't have used that honor. That's what you get.
Yeah.
You were looking at the computer lab.
Should've on the guards in the first place.
And you sort of had this idea of, oh, maybe I'm supposed to... What did you roll?
8. It's 8.
Maybe this could work. And as you're sitting there thinking, you look over it and Ronald's gone white, almost like out of fear. You go to scratch your head and you notice your ring has started projecting something, sort of like holographic, a little bit out, and it looks like a face. And it looks in shock, like I'm seeing things.
It's a face coming out of my ring.
It looks like the face that was engraved on the ring has projected out and it's sort of moving around.
God.
And it stops and looks at you. And goes,
Jeffrey?
Fitz. And then it just vanishes.
Wait, it's not Jeffrey, what is it? What's his name?
Am I haunted?
I like if you say that and I'm like, you just hugged me back. Come on. Time of food.
Fitz will stare at Ronald then, and Ronald, and he'll be like,
Oh, gee.
you saw nothing. You saw nothing.
And he's just white. He's like, I saw nothing.
Hey, Ronald, come help me at the kitchen.
I was going sorry.
He's got a turret on his back.
Leave it alone.
A little flames flickering from the end of the turret. A little flames flickering.
I've seen nothing. I see nothing. I know nothing. I did not wake up this morning.
I feel like I walk past and I just take Ronald on the shoulder. I was like, it'll be alright. Let's go to the kitchen, mate.
Let's bake some cookies.
Oh, okay. You stay here. I try and take the turret off his shoulder. It's a little unnecessary, dude. He's got to piss his pants, and I just cleaned.
You see the little legs trying to like hold on.
Come on, Fitz,
So you guys make your way back to the airship.
I am personally going to go past the airship, but we're all moving in that direction anyway.
Okay. So are you going onto the airship, or where are you going?
Door.
Oh, you want to check on it?
Okay.
I'm going to go for a walk.
Luggage goes to the door. You guys go back onto the airship. I'm guessing to the captain room.
Oh, yeah, it's probably the place we should go to.
Well, I mean, we did call us into the kitchen.
Yeah.
There is no kitchen. It's actually one of the cabins that are in the lower areas that just basically has the cooking gear set up.
Yeah, that's what the 6th bedroom was. You're sharing with your bed. Compromises had to be made.
That's right. I snuggle with him every night.
Yeah, exactly.
I require no bedroom.
No, you have a bedroom, but it's all great.
I'm really
to make you
starting to
feel
worry
alright.
about your character. He grooms people. He snuggles with his bear.
Your room is 2 chairs and a mirror.
Rapes aces.
Just for yourself.
Are you? What's that guy with the imaginary tiger?
Oh,
Calvin and
Hobbes.
Hobbes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Calvin and Hobbes.
More like Tiger.
What are you doing in the trial?
So my plan is to open the door
Yep.
and pretty much
Start
skim
singing
through the
country.
entire
Fuck
thing
it
to the
out.
sleeper. Like on the way back, reverse.
I was walking down the road, snuggling with my
Carol
bear.
Baskin.
Through the trial.
Because the door's there. The one that we passed with the Elvish on it.
No, I mean you can't get into the end of the trial. As you can't reverse trial. You're going to leave and you walk through the corridors and stuff.
Subjecting myself to this.
That's not his singing voice.
No, it's not.
You paid somebody else to do
The
it.
questionnaire where you first found the gauntlet and he's got his wrist.
Well,
That-
no.
you basically wander back into that hallway and there is that. You can't go any further that way.
And I assume the automaton's lying sleepy. Or possibly awake again. The technically end trial thing that...
Oh, that's not even connected to this trial. That's connected to the teleporter. If you go back around to where that is,
That would be my
it
next
doesn't
plan.
activate because you deactivated it when you were leaving. And you
It's quiet down here, cool.
yeah.
Just check and see if there's any fresh bodies or
There's
humanoids
Your
walking
giggle
around.
fits a goblin.
Cool. And then I will continue, come back up the door eventually.
Okay. So what are you guys doing on the airship now that you've been fed?
We're all eating.
You're all eating?
Can I roll a, performance would be my best chance?
Yep.
You told us about our rooms.
Yeah.
A minute, we're first eating.
Well, you told me that I had to sleep with my bear.
It doesn't mean you get to sleep in a room.
No, I don't get a room.
That's
Hey,
what
you get a room, 2 chairs and a mirror. No bed, I assume you don't sleep.
And the mirrors for the bear.
Yeah.
And yet, I bet you I've got a really nice fluffy bed.
No. You have a standard room, but everything is painted the exact same shade of grey, so you think you're dying when you walk in. So you're really confused.
Error. Colour has disappeared.
And the door is automatically closing, so it just closes and you're like, what the fuck?
Luckily, I don't require sleep, and I will not use my bedroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, you guys can carry on. I'm not here right now.
You'll sleep in my room. By sleep, I mean you would stand at the mirror and just stare at yourself.
If anything, I'll be standing on the top deck, keeping an eye out, unless I have the low power, and then I'll
Well,
go down to the
Your grey room.
I'll just go down to the one where you open up the bottom and stand on that.
Okay, so
Me
what
too,
do you-
just
What's happening? It's
Yeah.
basically come to evening now. It's like dinner, like dark dinner time.
Yeah, I know, it's dinner.
Yeah, I know.
I made a beautiful candle
I know.
of dinner.
I was gonna say, is
dark
this
in
meal
the
actually
daytime.
good?
Yeah, let me roll this.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm actually eating this.
You
or
gotta
I'm
roll
pulling jerky out. and
4
stuff.
times, 5 times to roll.
Oh, yeah,
No, just
okay.
on one meal.
If you pick a decision of the skill base, because it is technically chef's tools.
No, it's just an intelligence.
Can I just slide a hand in good meal?
How do you slide a hand?
That makes
He's
more
making-
sense than intelligence for cooking, to be fair.
Well, it
Or
has to
dicks.
be an ability.
I'd say dicks.
I'm going for intelligence because the food he has access to is probably more just snack foods and things for like travel.
How is
rations. So how intelligent of a meal can he make it look like a meal out of basically nuts and crackers?
So sleight of hand.
Enter wisdom.
Okay, roll me a wisdom. Just flat wisdom.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help.
Flat wisdom first.
It tells me a tomato is a fruit.
Okay, well-
Wisdom tells me not to put it in a fruit salad.
Roll me an intelligence. What?
I have intelligence +1.
So was it 11?
Yeah.
11? Okay. Now roll me a sleight of hand.
Fantastic.
You require training. Shall I assist?
Please
my
natural
work
20. 19. That's not.
You did a really good job of putting it together. Do I get food poisoning?
That's some makeshift motherfucking shit right there.
Nothing is cooked, dude. I don't have an oven.
The meals that you guys have been presented
You
with,
might get sick. I should be fine.
the meals you're presented with,
You can eat anything.
at
You're a
first
goblin.
glance, look like meals. But then when you realise they're not actually meals, as you poke what looks like the meat, it sort of crumbles, and you realise it's just a bunch of like beans or something that have been stuck together to look like meat.
The audacity.
No, I like to think I'm still mixing that bowl, and I'm like, I worked really hard.
The
What have you been mixing?
The bowl is
Sliced dyed green.
The meals look and sort of have this aura to them, like heat coming off them and stuff. They look like they've been
I might have illusioned the cutlery.
All of the same.
It looks like gourmet meals and things, but the problem is the wrong things have had the illusion of heat given off them. The wrong things have the illusion of like being cut properly and things like that. So like the broccoli has like that meat smell, but it's been chopped up like it's diced something else. So, like,
One of the things has got like the illusion of the gloss from the cutlery on the food.
The whole meal itself, it looks like a meal that's just disconjointed and doesn't make any sense. But when you go to eat it, you realise that it's just cleverly designed like rations that have been pushed together as you go to eat it. It's just rations you guys are eating.
I appreciate the presentation.
Damn right.
You're actually just mixing like a bunch of knives in there or something.
No, there's nothing in the bowl. There's never been anything in the bowl.
He's just got grandma's spoon.
Yeah.
He's using that as a reference for his mental control over the concentration. The moment he stops doing that, the illusion's gone.
If somebody interrupts me, the spell sounds away.
I put a couple of copper coins in the bowl.
Those copper coins are instantly gone.
Since you wouldn't actually have a bowl, are we actually just eating off planks or wood you've taken off the wall?
He's painted them to look like plates.
No, it's like those optical illusions where it's like painted 3D, but it's still flat. From the right perspective, it looks like a bowl.
You've set us up perfectly. Now don't move from this spot.
Everyone's been placed in a specific direction.
Why can't I move?
Like, the cabin and
You're
everything.
all Cyclopses, right?
Just close this one eye.
The inside of the cabin is like, as you said, the optical illusion. We're all in a very specific spot to see the illusion. He's like, don't move your head. Don't do anything.
I'm like sitting facing this way, you're facing
You know what they say about a good meal? It's all in the arms.
Okay. What are you guys doing now that you've eaten dinner?
Go to the captain's quarters.
Throw up.
Splendid.
There was a nice bunch of rations.
Thank you. I'll take the ball.
Just get up and leave quietly.
Yeah. Light my pipe again.
Let me just sweep the table.
Yeah.
Gust.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, I imagine there's just a window open at one end and just gust it all out.
You walk up, twist it, key, and you hold it up, and you notice a sort of light sort of cross down.
I've gone that way as well.
Opens. The two of you are standing there as the doors open.
I'm like in the background. I hope there's a bit of food.
Damn it, he saw me go this way. You ain't getting this Captain Cabin that easy.
I already own this. This is my spoils of war. Ha! Legit.
I'm standing in the background like, I've got my paintbrush ready, let's go guys.
And technically, like, you two, but not them. This is played out perfectly.
You walk into the captain's
And I'm
quarters.
highly respected by aces now.
You walk into the captain's quarters.
I'm
and
part of his
immediately notice
I'm part of
the
his
entire
creator
thing's a
list.
mess. And then remember that the airship has recently twisted around in circles. The entire thing is a mess. There are bits of paper and maps and things everywhere, and there looks like there was a shelf that was supposed to sit at one end of the room, has ended up at the other end of the room. Basically, a whole bunch of things that look like they were normally strapped down on certain things have actually stayed still, and the ones that haven't been strapped down in certain directions have come out of where they're strapped and just moved around. This entire quarters is a mess.
My bad.
I just kind of look at you. Look at myself.
I haven't
Look at you.
dust
It's a bit big, could you?
I don't know, it's your room.
So I'm asking you, could you?
I've already started cleaning.
Fitz will walk in there.
Yeah, he just walks in behind us and start lifting things up.
I've already got the duster and everything.
Ronald's standing
I'm wearing a
like,
tutu.
past you guys and just sort of
Instruction manual?
Fitz will go looking in there.
roll me a investigation.
Uh-oh.
I start having an investigation. I'll have a look. Seeing what I can find.
I scratch my name just from the inside.
I'm just cleaning. That's a 13 for cleaning.
Plus Dex.
Sweet.
Oh, nice! You're doing a very good job.
17.
I'm very proud.
That is 17 for cleaning.
You're looking
open a
good
window
looking.
and dust.
17.
Cool. Based off, you begin to start making. You guys are walking around and picking up bits of paper, and no, I'm not sure what this is for, and you're just sort of looking through things. But as you guys are in the middle of investigating your small corners, you notice as you sort of look up, the room's being slowly organised as Johnny is putting things back, and it's actually made it easier to figure out where things are.
I found my fucking calling.
Drew's just like,
What are you guys actively?
The team cleaner.
you can stick around.
I want to know what you guys are looking. What are you aiming to try and find? You're looking for like an older menu.
Manual, schematics, and...
Okay.
Okay, if he's
It's
doing
on the
that,
books.
Plans.
then I'm looking for things like plans and
Cool. Okay,
I'll do the
orders
same.
and
It's
stuff
all
like
in the
that.
doing.
Roll me an investigation.
So they're all looking through paper.
Yes.
You are getting
I would
so
like
many
to look-
brownie
Oh, I
points
found
from
fuck
Drew
all.
right now.
I don't know how I did this.
7.
You're actively, without realizing it, helping Johnny clean. you're walking around. And
That's
Johnny,
why it's way more organised.
Because Johnny's moving things and putting the majority of things on tables, and you're walking up and looking at them and just sort of going, "No, you put those there," and you're just putting things away without
Question me
realizing
when I
that
ask for help.
you're looking for things but putting them away. Johnny's doing the major part of it, and you're just sort of doing the finishing touches without actually doing that.
Thanks for cleaning Drew's room.
You see me in the background, I started scraping the desk clean.
You find
Varnishing.
not so much an owner's manual, but you find a mechanical menu that breaks down the system of how the ship works and things. And how it's based off certain flight times and stuff, and how like basically the inner workings of this airship work. You find basically a blueprint of it.
Fitz is just going to sit down in the corner of the room and start reading it.
It's not like a sheet of blueprint. It's a bunch of different parts that you piece together and realize here's.
I'll pull out one of the tables for you so you can.
One of the tables just put out here.
Brand new table. It's looking at for schematics and maps. It's
I
made
watch
for
you pull the
that.
table and I'm just like,
Another part of the ship, there's a hole in the wall.
You find a battle
piece of
plan
snapped off.
based around phases for planned phases and
Snap off a
targets for
tiny
phases,
little
which I
Somebody
believe
has to get me more
because
wood.
it's
I'm
a
going to
battle
have a
plan.
problem.
So
No, I never have a problem with that.
I will show you that later.
man.
You basically have the phase 1 and phase 2 plans, and there is a third phase that, like, there are set phases to it. The third one doesn't actually have descriptions to it. It's entirely based off outcomes of phase 1 and 2.
Okay.
But you have the entire invasion plan set up, and you also have a thing that's set. You realize this invasion based off the information is actually a recon-based one. It's not a ground-based one where they were trying to aim for something. It was a testing the waters sort of thing. This was not the full units that were attacking. This was like a practice sort of sacrifice sort of thing.
So what you're saying is if we kill everyone, there'll be no witnesses and they won't be able to know what they did. Okay.
I'm in the background. They make a hell of
But
a
didn't a
mess.
bunch of hobgoblins and goblins run away?
I'm not there.
Not in the ship,
I
right?
will
guys?
also give
I don't
you
know this information either.
You are aware that chatterbooks are used to communicate, and this luggage unit had a destroyed chatterbook on his person. So any updates he's probably sent has probably been destroyed. So you don't know what they are.
Now that it's clean
Alright.
and everyone's thinking, can I roll for pornos?
That is a negative.
Damn it!
Whenever you roll, it won't exist.
Those are in the cabin.
I find robot schematics and I'm monstrously disappointed.
The schematics for the ship was the pornos.
I found the inside of something, but not what I wanted.
Luggage, by this time you've made it.
We're just posting there like, yes, oh god.
Just don't show them. Don't show them to luggage.
That's how it works.
That's how he runs it again.
Bunch of fucking weirdos, and I walk out, close the door.
I will climb
You
out.
can't close the captain's door.
Oh, right.
Just the door to the...
Can you build a door?
Well, then you clearly hear it.
No, I do like a Dutch door, a half door built into the other door. And I was like, well, I can't close the other door, fuck it.
Why am I feeling a breeze? Since when was there a window in here?
I was like, how do you think I dust? Ghost.
Once I climb inside, I will actually close the hatch so that it stops being just an open hole in the bottom. And I will listen to the voices.
As you listen to the voices, there is this slight shudder over the entire airship as you realise there is no longer any power over it, and it goes from hovering in the market and just, you all feel this BAGUM! As the entire airship basically has now decided to land in the market.
So I just hit my head on the ceiling?
Probably.
Fuck!
Ronald, who's been standing the entire time, goes, that's right, we were a few inches above the ground. We weren't in the air. It's okay. Nobody has died.
I walk out and just pat him on the shoulder.
What was that? So anyway.
We landed.
Ship turning off.
Yeah, all the light, the power on the terminals and things are gone off.
How do we turn
I'm gonna
it on
walk back
again?
down to the power thing.
You will come across the luggage when you do that.
Hello, friend.
Hello. As I open the power source door and stuff.
How do we turn it back on again?
Would you? The spell slot vanishes,
nice,
the
it's
airship
spell
gains a bit more power again.
Cool. I got 4
Well, I
source
suppose we
points.
could do that. Cantrip.
You touch it, yeah, you walk instantly over to it.
Oh, the turret's just constantly shooting flames in.
If you cast anything into it,
I'm just touching it. Because all he did was go like this, and it worked. So I'm
Just
trying to
shoot
turn
with
it
my
on.
gun.
again.
you walk over and you just touch the core. You
shot.
realise the core looks kind of like the core you've seen in the your house.
Ah!
That doesn't work like that.
Magic slot. I don't know. Would you call it magic slot?
Cast magic.
Magic slot.
Spell slot.
It
However
absorbs
you-
magic.
Yeah.
You could just say
Your energy.
cast a spell,
Or that.
Yeah.
and I will dub my 2 spell slots into it.
Well, I mean, in
Give it
Goblin
total,
one,
Slayer,
or-
they know
yeah.
they have
giving it a
slots.
total of 3 hours of
That's
running.
okay.
Sorry,
Anyone,
what?
anyone in the
Slayer.
cockpit will notice that
That's a
there
stupid
are
amount of
I was hearing
four
something about
ones.
slots. What?
Goblin Slayer.
Well, it has that problem
2
too,
ones.
but...
Oh, 2 1, sorry, 3.
Oh, we're about to have a long rest, I
Right.
assume.
This is
So I'm going to
disgusting,
put
anyway.
all of my spell slots into it.
It's a maximum of 8.
Right,
So
so
if
take
we
a
go
break
5,
scene that's
how many
half
would
an
I got
episode.
up to
It's
3
so
spell
artsy.
slots.
Level 2 spells count as 1.
It's disgusting.
Count as 1.
Count as
No
2
rape
ones.
scene is
So
ever
1 level 2
No,
is 2
this
level
one
1s.
is
There's no way
For
to
powering this.
Oh,
I'll just put
have a
3
rape
level
scene that's
3s.
artsy.
yeah, no, it's like 15 goblins
yeah.
hammering one shit.
It's 8 hour battery,
Actually,
isn't it?
I turned
You
it
just
off.
gave
and
it
it's
9
that
Pretty good.
It was only
Okay, I'll just equal out.
You'll magically regain a level 1 skill.
No, you can't really talk about
So
what's
how it
fast
works,
anymore. Have you seen what's
I put in an
the
hour.
lady stepping
I
on
put in 2
bumping?
hours.
Okay.
So you'd only have to do
So
one.
there's art,
Yeah.
and then
I'll just do that.
art.
1, 2, 3.
This
And now we're
invisible
fully
art.
And artsy is an
And
actual
then
term.
I cast combustion.
Tastefully
You see
done.
the fire go out and it...
You can't have a rape
I
scene
wonder
be
if mystic
tastefully
powers work
done.
too.
Luggage explodes. Right.
The luggage gets absorbed into the
Unless
engine.
it's
Well, this is the
like
lightning.
Becomes the
I'm
airship.
outside
And
buying
then
some wood.
Dante.
I'm buying wood for people to put into the ship.
It's okay, I can chop down trees really
How are you
easily.
buying that? Market isn't open.
No, everything is closed. It's
Oh.
basically nighttime.
Well,
and
just take
lockdown.
off
Are they
the walls.
always
It's still
gonna
locked
get
down.
this?
It's still locked down, still nighttime. There are
When you
guards
give birth
walking
to
around.
potentially
We
a
are
half-breed?
technically still under attack.
Oh, okay.
You guys are just taking a night's rest.
I understand biology. Why do
I'm
they
not
ask?
going to take a night's rest. Can I walk up to the whatever they're ticking around with
Maybe
and
it's
dump
just
my
the
spells
eggs.
into it?
It's already at full.
It's at full.
Oh, okay.
Max card, go to sleep.
But wild magic spells. Ooh.
I didn't create it. I don't fucking know.
All that power that they're taking would just
We
go
lost
straight into it.
Hey,
I would like
technical crew must move.
look at those schematics that this one
He's going.
Schematics?
or blueprints or whatever.
For the airship?
Sorry, hello, internet.
Oh yeah.
Bye, son.
Bye.
What do you want to know?
He's not permanently leaving.
No, I want to actually
Look at them. Yeah, you can look over the schematics with him as well.
no like show them the battle plans.
And then
Trading
get it off
information.
now.
Alright, well let Fitz go off.
7:30. Yeah, actually. Getting there.
I want to do a couple more things, but they don't involve Fitz, so Fitz can take off if he wants.
This goes to his wonderful
Can you make another con save?
kitty
Point out that
prints and
Yeah.
there's nothing to report. And
Yarn.
It's leopard print. There's a real like sexy. print
Can I make him make
tiny
another
thing.
con save? Or should I save that for another time?
Save
Ah.
Would you like to go home?
Okay, yeah, true.
Right, now let's just sit and listen.
Yeah, you like it.
If it's a save in 23.
No, he's fine.
Oh, you're good.
Alright, we are listening to DM.
Okay, so you guys are. Are you guys going to beat
What
him?
did you just do?
Is what I want to know.
Nothing till we saved it.
He keeps blowing smoke
Ah, I see. Would you
want-
stop trying to get our
I'm not.
cat high?
That was more room high.
Live Pal. Just wander around the ship.
I'm hotboxing
I'm not
everyone.
resting at all because I still know that there's a
We've
fight.
got ridiculously
I cannot turn off
for
at this
what
point.
we are. Like,
I'm
inappropriate.
keeping my team safe, so I will.
And we get bonuses to our save and
So Luggage is on
as
patrol.
artificers.
I can track you back.
Ronald will ask you,
You
if
know.
it's okay if he sleeps in one of the quarters downstairs.
This is a very
You may sleep
specific
in the
drug.
kitchen. There is no other rooms.
He will accept
Can it
that.
be grown?
He may sleep in my bed.
I'm just like,
You
you
don't have
heard
to-
the man.
I don't know
You
the
sleep on my
law
floor.
currently.
You pleased me cleaning that.
I'll have to
cabin's
double check
quarters.
with him.
The Dewey Decimal System
Oh.
sold it.
Don't worry. He's asking
You're like
if
high
my
ranking in my
It's
eyes.
like,
stuff
I
can be
don't know what
grown.
the Dewey Decimal System is. It just
Can he grown?
Oh, then his can't be grown. His smoke.
Okay.
So it is a plan.
Rustle.
You wanna
Right next to the mic.
before you start running up, you wanna mention it to Drew. Because he's the cultivator. He's thinking about more smoke leaving.
Oh, I'm not worried about smuggling. It's just he was asking me more details about it, and I was just double checking with Sam the specific details.
Bear with another rustle.
We'll give this a moment.
Didn't know your name was Russell.
No, the bad thing.
The dice likes it, but I hate it.
Oh, please.
You have another dice.
You're a kind soul.
No, come here.
Oh, sure, they'll find it.
It'll be hectic next time.
I don't know, was he giving that to you?
I've got coffee. Lots of it. If I need to stay awake, I will stay awake.
Oh. I probably should have leaned back more. Step forward.
Okay, so you guys are all
There it is.
Relaxing at some point.
Okay.
It'll be hectic.
Alright,
Nice
Aaron,
maneuvering. Yes.
when you go to bed,
Mhm.
Falcor is in your room as well.
My cupboard. With a mirror and chairs.
Your cupboard with a mirror and chairs.
Yeah.
He will be very confused where a bed would be for you.
We'll just do what we normally do. Just chill. Sleep on the spot, apparently.
You put one chair there, him in the middle, and you lie across the whole thing, and he keeps you on.
It was someone else.
I made it deliberately uncomfortable. I don't like it.
I don't care.
It's okay, you don't have to have a mic.
He will basically push a bunch of stuff to the side so it'll roll off, basically look like he's turned
No, he
you
has a
back.
treehouse.
Treehouse on the airship.
You have two chairs, and then on one wall he has a fake little treehouse.
He'll basically beanbag himself up for you. So you can
That's pretty standard.
Yeah. You don't have an issue with sleeping tonight. If anything, it's more comfortable because you're
See
not
ya.
outside. Bye, Fitz! It's actually a more comfortable sleep because there isn't a cold wind.
Yeah, suck it, Johnny. I'm used to sleeping like this.
Are you sleeping in the captain's quarters? There is a bed in there.
No, it's not. It does not fit the feng shui.
Yeah, you got rid of it.
You might have to
Probably
take it
should
out
have.
later.
Where did Fitz go?
Fitz is in his own.
Hold up. Here's a question. Why would there be a bed there if there was the unit, the luggage unit that was kept in?
Am I aware of
I choose
recently
not to.
made up quarters
okay.
for me?
Like, it may be.
I don't know.
It's
Have
probably
you told,
I
a
told
bed
everyone it's
built
done.
for her.
You're aware of
We
the
don't
quarters that have been
require
made.
them.
I-
It's like
We don't
extreme
take the
makeover.
request.
And here is
Maybe
your
he's
room.
in our experience because it was his.
I get the battle plans
Or
and
just
the
stole the ship.
blueprints. Or
They're probably
schematics.
just, yeah, a standard ship.
She's got
and they
those?
just didn't
He's
remove
got
the
those.
Okay, sweet.
They'll have
Battle
those.
plans. The.
Have
Would you like me to?
I just got them on me. Yep. I scrolled them
Would
away.
you like me to come and be a vacuum and just pick everything up?
Don't you fucking dare.
I exit the captain's quarters. Lock
Show
the
you how
door.
to clean.
Yep. The door will lock.
Yep. Check my key away.
Without you actually realising this,
That's yours.
I got
because of
your shenanigans of repairing the
I got
ship,
Ronald.
the captain's
You got
quarters was
Ronald.
here.
I'm happy I have
Hey,
him.
Sam, is Ronald in my room as well?
No, Ronald's in.
He's in the kitchen.
He's
In the
He's
kitchen.
in the kitchen.
Or is he sleeping in
He
the kitchen?
got told he
Ronald's
had to sleep in the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have a
I'm gonna go
room.
chill out with Ronald then.
No, you have your own room.
Yeah, I'll sleep with Falco later, but I'm
says
chilling with
sta-
Ronald.
He says standing in
I'm
front
like
of
the
kitchen.
dorm mother. I'm like, go to your room.
Can I blow some smoke in your face?
I wander past and I'm just like, does he says?
You think that will work
Con
on
save.
me? I've seen much worse.
Con save.
And during this entire thing, there's just this constant thump.
Yeah. On the top. It becomes therapeutic.
And forward.
What are we looking at?
Backwards.
I think you've saved it. It's above 10.
Con.
Yeah,
plus
no,
3.
he's fine.
Yeah, fuck off.
You're waiting. Why are you waiting?
I'm just gonna be like,
What am I gonna
you
do?
keep trying and
I mean-
fail.
He technically said he walked past and said you should do what he says. So maybe he get preferred too. And maybe you're actually.
Yay!
Alright, I'll go back to my room.
Yeah, I'm also wearing like a nightie.
With slippers on and a
Yeah.
So,
Seriously, ever since you made that captain's quarter amazing, Drew's just like, yep, he
My
takes
hero's
care
up
of
in a
all of
bun.
that now.
So you're now officially the cleaner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you go into your quarters.
Caretaker.
And you go through your normal night routine,
The
of
auntie.
putting things around and making sure your bathroom. You feel like someone's watching you.
Oh, creepy.
Oh, that's not unusual.
You
Who is it this time?
No, not creepy, never mind.
You hear a voice say, "Why, it's me, my child."
Oh no. Who did I screw over this time?
As you turn around,
Yeah.
standing in the doorway is this 6-foot figure in sort of this rainbow chromatic set of sort of gourmet-looking like armor. And it seems to, like, the colour of it just sort of shimmers as if the light is moving, but it's not actually moving. And there is a humanoid person standing there with, like, very nicely sort of tied back hair. And he has this sort of, like, half beard grown on him.
Wait, is
But-
it you?
No.
The previous you that we thought it was.
It's
No, I'm
it's-
just. I think it's like the gay pride.
It's
like
it's
god.
it's think Tony Stark kind of beard on him.
It's a gay pride god.
His eyes, if you look into them, sort of look galaxy-esque in that there isn't really pupils to it. It's just sort of weird to look at.
Fabulous.
And you can't tell where it's coming from, but it's almost like he's glowing light off himself. And
I love this
and,
guy.
and he looks at you and he goes,
He's super bright.
"You're a bit of a mischief maker, aren't you?"
Yeah, well, I get around. I make the.
And he goes like this, and he goes, "My name is Loki.
Oh no.
I am the god of chaos.
Chaos in the bedroom.
That is one of the many things."
Oh!
Just trying to sit
Your power has not been your own that has caused this chaos. It has been this thing that you're gifted with on your arm.
Dumb luck more than anything.
Would you like to be an agent of my chaos?
Sure.
Because every few seconds.
Do I get to be
Look
rainbow?
around.
Bend rainbow.
Can I be rainbows?
Potentially. That would be interesting. He walks up to you and goes,
This is literally what's happening. Keeping the noise there in the background because it's what's happening.
I like that, like, under my door you're seeing rainbows, Mark. You're like, yeah, that's normal.
I'm on the top deck, I heard, ah!
Are you...
He walks up to you and he waves his arm over your wristband, which shimmers a little bit. And he goes,
Strange
that might help with this.
Does it become amazing?
Strange
It could be.
Or it doesn't, like, just take over my whole life?
It just shimmers a bit more like something's happened, you know what you want. And he looks at you and goes, my new cleric.
Oh no. Sweet.
And you blink for a moment and then he's just gone.
Cool.
Cleric of Loki.
Yeah, no, that's where my brain's like one.
It's alright, Sam and I have been talking about this as well.
I'm allowed to be more dangerous.
I've been consulted before the class was created.
I'm a test subject in many ways.
So is he.
Yeah.
On the Warlock side that he's picked up.
Not
anymore.
Not anymore?
Are you just going to play Warlock now? Or do you
No,
play
we'll go over that in a bit.
I'll tell you about that on the
Kill.
phone instead.
Drew,
What up?
welcome to the void.
First I walk into my new room that's just books
Oh,
everywhere.
There's like a book-shaped bed, like a kid's bed.
Oh, okay, my
pages on the
eyes
pillows.
widen.
Ignoring just in the background.
Just hear it.
There's tea. For some reason, there's always tea brewed in the corner.
So good.
I am a super happy little goblin.
Cool. So you
Ran to
fall
the other
asleep.
side, so I thought it was something else.
It's palpable to you.
Maybe that's why you visit.
So you
I saw it.
as you've gone to sleep.
Dead people around me.
This is going to be interesting, so I'm going to give you control over this a little bit. Would you prefer a black void or a white void?
Oh, easy now.
Black voids.
Why gotta be black though?
Dark red void?
What are the yellow void?
Space or sort of like that white kind of echoey
Nothing.
room is basically what I want to know.
Space. I'll go for black void.
Right, so
White voids are very upsetting.
I was
very
thinking,
progressive of you.
I was thinking the Matrix.
yeah, no, I was thinking Matrix.
Matrix
or-
white nothing.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
Mm.
I
It's
don't
weird.
like the Matrix.
It's called Purgatory.
The movie's awesome.
You awake. You in this world, you sort of awaken up, and you're just basically floating in space.
I'm like,
Clothes or no clothes?
What?
Oh, okay.
I'm always in my suit.
You kind of look around,
Wow.
and you,
You
sort
go
of-
fast.
as you're looking around, you see a structure in sort of the distance. You can feel that you have you do this, and you start sort of
Doggy paddle.
you basically start floating towards it. What would Drew consider home? Would it be in Athena? Would it be the home out on the island? Or
Would
would
you
it
be quiet? Wrong character. A library of any kind.
a library of any kind?
Anywhere where there would contain information.
Okay.
Yes, back to the
Um,
Capricorns.
Would
Aaron appears.
Fantastic!
Because I have old information.
As you get
You
closer,
definitely wouldn't be there.
as you get closer to the
heaps of
structure, it
information.
slowly takes the shape of sort
Can't
of
read you like a book. It's not good.
a silhouetted colorization of the Athena. that
No,
you
the
grew
gnome
up.
would be your home.
And there is a doorway to it that's sort of like a light.
I would be offended by that. And no.
Sorry.
There was a light
Apparently
doorway,
the
so the
weird
door was
thing
made.
was
Oh yeah. Okay.
That one particular gnome
Mm.
Obviously,
is one that
enticing.
she likes.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
that one that is not
That's why that gnome would be
not home.
would appear.
You go from double paddle to
Beacons of the sun.
Yeah, you go from double paddle to trot, and there is ground that you're walking on. Almost like you could be doing either of these things if you feel like it.
Ground. Logical. Like this. Okay.
Half doggy pedal, half ground.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Walking along.
But like when I grew suddenly.
So you go up to go through this. As you sort of you just touch it. It's a door. It's a physical light door. You just touch it. You push it and it moves easily for you to move in. You basically feel yourself being brought into this room, and you sort of blink, and suddenly you're in what looks like an Athenaeum sort of entry system. And in front of you is what looks like an information-based desk. and you look around and you can see empty shelves where books normally would be. And as you kind of pan around this room, you notice each of the shelves that normally would give off the description of what's in that area seems to have a silhouette of something as you sort of pan around. And as you pan and turn behind you, you notice on the left-hand side of your door is a silhouette that looks kind of like Luggage. And then you look onto the other side, and there's a silhouette that looks kind of like you. And the silhouette of you has more of your color and things. You can see your face in it.
I feel like you definitely know something.
Oh.
I wander over to the luggage one.
Run over to the luggage one?
Yeah, I'm like, to my own one. I'm like,
You walk
I know
over,
me.
You walk over to the luggage one. Below Luggage is what looks like a little console-looking thing with a constantly changing hand shape that when you get closer, it's progressively looking like a goblin hand.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Shoot! as you're doing this, it changes with your hand. Like, it's adapting to whatever hand shape you're bringing closer to it.
It's cheating!
Hey! It does this weird kind of half-pointed thing back at you, like an inverted.
Changes into a rocket launcher and fires.
Look at the rest of it. Area.
The rest of the luggage? Or?
The luggage and the shelving and whatever reason.
As you walk over to the other shelvings, you sort of walk up and there are silhouettes of like races of some kind as you look down the aisles. They kind of disappear out of view, but they're just empty shelves. And as you walk around, you come across one set of shelves that also has a mini picture of you, which is also empty.
You're hollow, baby.
Back up to where the luggage is. Is there like any books within a shelf for him?
For the luggage one?
Or is it just
Yes,
like luggage?
There's a
A
picture of
shelf.
There is no
with
shelf.
little-
Luggage
or-
is like almost like he's a glass stained window, and below him is a panel, which is where the hand thing keeps changing. So you've got luggage, panel, you, and then nearby another glass pane of you, and then nearby where you are, sort of closest to the side, is a shelf for you, and then you've got a bunch of shelves going all the way around, and in the center is an information desk.
Information? How can I help you?
And there's a gnome there.
No, there isn't a gnome.
No, I'm kidding. I know, that's why I said it.
I go to the information desk.
We'll go over to the information desk, and you've seen these before. They sort of slightly glow when you activate them and stuff like that, and you sort of move over to it and you tap it. There is the sound of clattering as you look up, and just a shower of books just kind of crash all around you. And now there is just litters of books around you.
Pick up a book.
And it says Druid Year 3.
Aren't you cute? Look at your thing.
Place it on the desk. Pick up another book.
It says Gary Boone, Year 5.
Pick up another book.
Roll me a concentration.
Wait, isn't this the cursed one? Concentration. What is it?
Concentration is just your constitution.
Not the saving, but
yeah,
just the
con save.
Yeah.
Oh, con save.
Yeah, con save.
The fuck is that?
Constitution.
22?
Concentration.
Okay. As you're past sorting these out, you go to grab another book, getting ready to sort it, and all the books start sort of floating around. And you realise as you were doing this, the books you weren't actually fully reaching to them; they were flying to your hand when you were picking them up. And as you think about this, they start to sort of.
Get a call?
Yeah, I really don't want to answer that.
Don't answer it then.
That work.
As you're thinking about, I could organise it this way, the books start to fly up in the air and spin around you, and then they all fly into shelves, and the shelf that has an image that had you has now been filled with books, and then the shelf next to it has a more humanised based image that's appeared that you recognise as Gary Boone, and a shelf of books have gone down that one.
You're Matilda.
No.
Voice message.
Fuck off, Al.
You work tomorrow?
Yeah, it's literally that.
Oh.
And my boss already said no to Bora Road because it would have been 6 days in a row. Well, that's handy. That's pretty much what I was trying to do.
You're Matilda. Books flying around you.
Go on. Cool. Well, that's that organized.
Yep. The 2 books you picked up before are still sitting there, though.
I'm like,
unless you want them to go back, then they will just sit there.
I'm like, and like my little goblin mind, I'm like, no, you're meant to do that too.
They will immediately fly up and take off the moment you think that.
I am God here.
Excellent.
Yeah, until you meet me. You're in your mind
Cool.
power.
Cool. Basically, now I just wander around and I try and distinguish each sort of
Did you
figure.
put your hand on the panel?
The luggage panel?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
I haven't done anything like that yet.
So you
crossed my mind, but then I was like, I can go to the information first.
So you go up to each of the images. You walk up to them, and I don't have that file open at the moment, but I will send you a list of the different outlines of races that you look at.
Okay, cool. I wander back to. Screw it, we'll try the luggage one first.
Go to the luggage one?
Yeah.
The weird hand changing panel?
I'm like, put my hand into the hand.
Yeah, you put your hand into the hand. Luggage, where are you currently walking around?
On the top.
Cool. You're about to start walking down the stairs, and everything goes black.
Clunk, 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 clunk.
Probably.
And I'm like,
Oh,
something's having a good time.
If you want to wake you, I'm not, but you are.
Yeah, you woke. You're like, what the fuck's going on?
Who's causing more chaos than me?
How fucking dare you?
As you do this, you sort of look up, and a purple energy sort of holographic version of Luggage appears in the library and sort of floats down next to you. Luggage, you are aware of this library.
Where is the ship?
I assume where we left it.
Where is luggage?
I assume where we left it.
What is this location? How am I here? Why am I here?
I don't know. I put my hand in the thingy where there was an image of you, and then you're there.
Is the thingy still there?
The thing is still there.
Can I put my hand?
You walk over.
And your brain feels fuzzy.
Your hand goes through it.
Wait a minute.
I want to.
Are there images of either of them?
No.
I want to find the very first book on the luggage shelf.
What about
There isn't
Fitz?
a luggage shop. There's a luggage facility. You're in an empty library except for 2 sections that have a picture of Drew and a
I can
picture of
answer
some
that.
human that you've never met
No.
before. And there are books down the walls.
You're of no use to me.
Luggage is emanating a light where he is as well.
Why did you bring me here?
I didn't actually mean to. It just happened.
Hmm.
I'm learning.
I'm gonna start wandering in, I guess.
Where do you wander?
Is there like an aisle between like that Drew and not Drew?
Yeah. There's one half Drew has all this section, and then the opposite side has Gary on that section.
I'll just walk along and just check the different, like, I assume there's at least labels on the aisles.
There are labels, but you can't read these.
Drew,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot understand this language. Why have you brought me here?
Sorry, so what is the language he's saying?
That's a real.
It's not a language. Like, you look at it and you realize it's almost pattern-esque, in that your brain is trying to, like, it's constantly trying to rearrange itself, but it can't read it. But when you look at your isle, you can see Drew, and when you look at Gary's isle, you can see Gary. And in Gary's one, it has his age below it.
So, sorry, what one is he looking at?
He's just looking at all of them.
I'm looking at the aisles with the label, just I'm trying to figure out what is in this place. So I've gone, look, each aisle has a label up. I can't read it. And you've got,
Okay, but I can read each label.
You can tell that the labels are trying to orientate themselves, and staring at them, you feel like there are names connected to these.
Can she read her own one, or is it still doing the same?
No, Drew and Gary, she can read. You can't read Drew and Gary's.
I'm just going to explore to the back wall
Okay.
from where I am
Okay.
and see if it just stays as...
Right. I assume I can read Luggage?
Yep. Not that Luggages has a book file.
He's just got a screen.
He's just got a screen.
Right, okay. So, I got a book aisle that I can read.
How did you say it was a screen?
Spoon's got a book aisle that I can read.
Yep.
The others are ones that we can't technically read.
Except for the very one closest to Luggage, which is Dante. You can read Dante's name, and you have an image of Dante there, but there are no books down there.
Can I read Dante?
You can't read Dante.
I take it my hand's still there.
No, you've
And
got to
Luggage
wait
is
till
like-
he says
yeah.
Dante's, and then you
Inferno.
Don't
Dante.
you pretend to take my joke.
Taking your hand out doesn't get rid of Luggage.
Okay.
But you, for some reason, feel like that if you put your hand back there, it might get rid of them.
I try and put my hand through Drew.
It goes through Drew.
Well,
I
Not
wander
that
over
Drew,
to the...
obviously.
That's a whole
So,
different
yeah.
level
Yeah.
of closeness.
And the same with Gary.
Yep, you can't interact with anything here. Fine. You are basically almost like a
I
hologram.
go over to the Dante one.
Okay.
What do I see?
There is a picture of Dante. There are a couple of books in Dante's ones that you probably could have seen if you were focusing on those, but because there's only a couple of them there, and they look like they're closer to the end of the aisle, sort of the end of his life, basically, are these books.
Feeling I know what's in those books. I think I looked what was in those books.
Is there a door?
No.
If I look at his feet, do I see my hand?
At his feet?
Or, you know, like Luggage's thing.
Oh,
The
yeah,
hand at the
a
top.
handshake thing? Yeah, there's not quite a totem kind of thing of it, but it's like underneath the picture of it. It doesn't change.
Put your hand into it anyway.
Nothing happens to it. You get the feeling that maybe you've got to connect to Dante properly.
Panic.
Inferno.
No exit.
You gotta put
I can
that
get you back out in a
No
minute, buddy.
purpose.
You'll be fine. One moment. I wandered down to the books on Dante's.
Dante's? Yep.
Yeah. Pick one of them up and
yes,
just sort of give a quick...
Dust it open? Yep, no, you...
Yeah, and sort of breeze through a couple of pages.
You breeze through a couple, and it mentions, from like a third-person perspective, describing Dante freaking out, Dante aware that something's about to go wrong, something is currently going wrong. I need to help. And then Aaron is here. I have to help Aaron. I don't think I can help myself. I've got an idea. I'll trick Aaron into standing next to the rock. Maybe something will happen. And then it says, it starts like it's another thought that's happened, and almost like someone's just stopped writing. Almost like that's where his life ended. And it seems to be describing the last moments of Dante viewing Aaron before he gets thrown into a rock.
Grab the other book.
I'm the hard place, that's the rock.
This
few pages in.
basically what basically describes Dante's journey from his land
Aaron's best friend's a rock.
through teleporting to his researched area in some mountaintop area, looking for the rock that is mentioned in the later book. You get Dante's perspective of the adventure that you went on through the other mind. And it basically describes how awesome this rock experiment will be and how awesome you are. It's very arrogant.
He was a very smart person.
Yes, I was.
I guess you both
Yeah,
were.
yes, we were.
He was a level 40.
Yes, we are.
He was level 40.
True story. Huh. I wander back over to the luggage one. Okay, buddy. I might be in my room.
Negative.
See you later.
Library.
Luggage, you wake up and you are...
I'm going to be over, like, I've propped him up.
You've come across him. What the fuck?
I would have woken up and I'm like, oh, what the heck?
You wake up, you have been half propped up, like your arms are still stiff, because you just shut down like this, and you've been placed half sitting down, and there is a bear just kind of staring at you.
Are you also nearby?
I'm nearby. I'm making sure there's nothing broken on you.
Probably not an arm's reach.
Reaching out for some enemy target that's disabled.
Luggage! It's Aaron! Yes, you got my throat.
What did you do to LU9 unit?
Oh, propping you up, making sure you weren't broken. You fell down the stairs and shut down.
Oh.
It's like holes in the stairs. Don't tell Johnny!
There is now a ramp in the middle of the stairs because you've just broken them.
I wake up from a nightmare.
Oh, what happened?
Almost without even like caring about you anymore, you drop down. Oh. Mending.
Yeah, and then you just, after you finish mending, go like slam the door open. What the fuck? What are you kids doing?
What are you doing awake?
I am centuries older than you.
Why are you having a course?
Don't sass me. Go to bed.
I do not sleep.
Go upstairs then.
Negative. And I walk towards Drew, who's actually upstairs. Oh, you're not in the cabin, are you? You're not in the captain's cabin.
No, I'm not in the cabin.
You're in your own room.
Go to Drew then.
Book room. And my magical book room.
I will try and find Drew. Make sure
I
he is
proceed to
actually
basically
here.
just start reading as much as I can. I start with Dante's books.
Which is very limited. It's almost like it's not finished.
It doesn't work after the word books. Dante's Books Inferno?
You just hear it.
No!
You just always hear it in the
You
for no reason.
out of reading through Dante's
Inferno.
After reading through his book, you discover that you now know where
But you
his
regret
lab
that
is.
naming, don't you?
Through reading it, you know where the lab is based off geography.
You know where the lab is? I know where the lab is as well. You didn't ask me!
So I don't fucking
Not
care.
good enough!
I don't fucking care. Somebody broke the
I'm
stairs.
still learning to get along with you guys. I came out of
You know
nowhere.
how to find it, you know how to navigate it, but that's about it.
Where do we require
Next stall, full of books. Start reading.
Okay, nice.
Gary Boone's books is the next
So
style.
there's. Oh, hang on. What can I
Man's
find?
best friend, but you're a robot,
information-wise
so
with luggage?
you don't understand.
Luggage doesn't have information. He's
Negative.
just
I
connected
understand.
to you.
Friendship.
Right, so I can just
You
bring
could-
him in
Oh,
and
you
chat
do,
with him.
yeah.
Yeah. You
Oh,
feel
no,
like
same.
luggage
Hello,
is
friends.
You're much more.
exists.
You're much more sentient than I remember.
Okay.
Just pretend like I'm a slightly old
That at least tells me I
version
don't have to
of,
read through
Dante,
everything
you'll
because
be
I come
fine.
back here. Okay, good.
a slightly
So the other
nerfed
books that I'm
old
aware
version
of
Dante.
in there
You're both
are
nerfed
books
and
and my
odd
own.
with your
Yeah.
personalities.
No, it's
She's got the
And in
stubbornness.
front of yours,
You've
there
got
isn't
the
a
mystic.
panel thing, but in front of Gary's,
Yeah,
there is a hand panel.
personalities. He's got the mystic. That's not personality.
and
It is now.
Change when your hand goes
I
closer.
have
Yes,
my
it
own
does.
personality.
Wait, what happened this time?
The books start to shake a little bit, and the image of Gary Boone in front of you sort of becomes almost a living picture, and he just kind of shakes his head a little bit and looks down at you and goes, "Hi.
Hi.
You called?
What? Explain.
Is that your question?
Yes.
I think you're technically talking to yourself at the moment, and so because you and I are one, you can communicate with me. And I believe what you're witnessing is a way your brain organizes it.
Cool.
I think we can answer 2 more questions.
Where are you, Drew?
Just like a genie. But also, I'm disappointed it's not Gary Busey.
It is now in my head.
Oh, not Gary Busey.
Hey, you leave him alone.
Not replacing Gary Boone. God no. Not that guy.
Gary Busey is playing Gary Boone.
Yeah. His real low point in his career.
Why do I only get limited questions?
That's a stupid question.
I can find out most of what I need from the books.
I believe it's a limitation of how connected you are with the past lives you've lived and how much you actively know. The limitation of me answering these questions for you is answering from my collective mind as he sort of pushes for the bookcase behind him. I'm not sure how quick you can get information out of a book as opposed to asking someone what they would know is the contents of the book. As time consuming, I guess. Yeah.
Oh.
I guess because they're books, it's different for everyone. I had statues. And then he goes to try and say something else. And you realise that if he tries to elaborate on anything that isn't answering your question, it's not comprehensible.
Right, so I can just ask him questions.
You can ask him questions, yeah. And he goes to try and talk to you, and you realise his voice has just kind of disappeared out, like he's trying to say something else. And then he sort of stops.
Right, so I haven't technically got limited questions. I can limited conversation.
Yep.
Okay. Not a genie. It's okay.
I'm nerve-wracking my slip. It's like a stupid genie.
It's not actually like 3 questions only.
Answer these questions 3 there on the side, you'll see.
Why is everyone just like getting convoluted as fuck?
I asked that, but not using the word gay. Why is everything a goddamn riddle with you people?
You actually say that?
I say that out loud. I do say that
Just
out
out
loud.
of frustration.
He says it's your mind. Just orientate it based off it.
Ooh, sick bird.
And then you try saying something else and realises you still can't hear him.
It's just riddles within riddles!
Give me a con save.
10.
Cool. I was going to say if it's above 10. You can feel yourself being dragged away from this world. You feel like you've got a limited time of being here. You might be able to get one more thing out of Gary.
It's problematic. I'm having issues remembering last conversations with him.
Ask him what your last conversations with him were.
No, I the player.
Ask Gabo so the DM can tell you. Or just ask the
Or
DM
just
if he knows.
meta knowledge. DM, remind me.
Meta knowledge.
The last time you talked to Gary, he explained how he was, the house you found him in was the location that he remembered dying.
Oh.
And you
Which is your
remember,
house.
you also remember connecting to Gary there, which is where you picked up the skill Commune with Boom, which required you to relive your own past life. And I mean past life as in Drew's life.
Okay.
Your history.
So, this, basically.
Yep.
Okay. So anything I'm asking them is basically relative to this. And his life.
Yeah. Well,
which I could just read in a book by this point.
It's the scene of
His
Black
wisdom?
Panther where he consults his ancestors.
Think of him.
So, kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Think
You get the wisdom of him as well.
Think of the books as Gary's computer system, and if you remove a book from there, it's the file being removed from his computer. So it's you can communicate with Gary, and that's his memories that he's communicating with. He can't give you anything he doesn't know. And so theoretically, it's faster to talk to him this way as opposed to reading the books.
Google.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
It's more
Limited information.
It's more like Ask Jeeves, let's be honest.
Personally, I feel it's more like grabbing the file explorer and searching within a particular folder.
That's probably a better way of doing it.
You never find what you're actually
Drew would be
after.
more inclined to pick up a book and just read the full story.
You can. You also have the understanding that you've got limited time of being able to hold yourself in this world.
What is it limited by?
Your concentration.
That was pretty much directed at. what is my control over this?
your own mental capacities or your own concentration.
Okay. And coming into it, I can come into this at any point?
Based off your own limitations, yes.
So it isn't just a case of I happened to fall asleep and came here.
It may be a case of you've triggered something that's caused your brain to orientate it like this, but I think from future points, now that you know this world exists, you can find it again. It was always here, you just didn't open the door. He ushers in the direction of Dante's books and says, I theorized I had a life before. That may have been what's triggered the beginning of this.
You are him?
I'm him and I'm you.
Ugh.
Ow!
Yes, we are.
You get a nosebleed.
Right.
You feel like you've got a nosebleed, but
like
blood's
some
coming
clear
down
liquid
my
starts
nose.
coming out of my ear.
I don't even have blood. What is this?
Yeah.
Something you killed that's in your ear leaks.
Did I squish something in my hip? Did I eat a bug? What the hell's happening
It's
here?
like his storage fell over.
You have a chance for one more comment to him.
Yeah, I'm wanting to ask a bit about those animals, but I figure I can probably just find that information in this book at another day. When it's important.
You're just going to ask him about the animals?
Ask him what his favourite play was.
Yes, if you could explain those animals and their relevance. And our need to find them.
Below him appears a bear, a bird, a frog, a porcupine.
Yeah, you heard it.
A strange slime-looking thing.
Oh, dibs.
And a mole.
Oh.
And these are the pictures that are below him. And he goes, these creatures are the elemental prime creatures. They're where the source of this world's magic comes from. If these creatures die, I believe that source of magic ceases to exist until it returns.
A giant
Frog or mole? I think it was frog.
For you? Mole.
Mole.
We fought a giant frog, so it wasn't.
Why do I remember your shit better than I
It
remember
was a
my own?
salamander in my brain, so I was listening for salamander and it didn't come up. I'm like, wait, that's not right.
We're all comparing our diaries. We're completely different.
Well, it was all about. I remember it being about fire.
And he says, they're the primes of this world's magic source. I believe that they take their forms like this based off just having a hold in this world. And if they're killed off, they do theorize that they would probably return because they aren't physically of this world. But if you were to eliminate one, and then one of the books has like a cross line appears in front of it, he goes, then that source of magic connected to it would cease to exist. So, for instance, and he's pointing at the bear, for instance, and he goes, I believe the bear was air and wind based. So anything that involves flight or wind would cease to exist.
What?
For the period of time that it is gone.
So all the airships will become ships again.
And I do know, as you and I are one, you have met and the bird appears. The bird.
Yeah, that was the problem.
He picked beasts and they chose their elements. It's his choice, it's his world.
And we saved them.
And he saved them. I'm not sure how I can answer that.
No, you don't need to accept it.
How are they in danger? From who?
Poaching.
Are any of them currently in danger or gone already?
During my time, I didn't know where the mole is. I found the bird. I found the frog. I don't know where the bear is. It roams a lot, like the wind. I have only heard rumours of the porcupine and the slime.
That's some Avatar bullshit.
And then the slime.
All these like normal mystical creatures and the slime.
Don't fucking diss the slime. He's the rogue element of that group. He doesn't fucking make sense and I love him.
Yes, you do.
As a meta thing, you'll love where he actually is.
Oh, of course I will. He's a fucking slime.
So you have no kind of information of where any of them other than the bird and the...
I've been dead for about...
The mole's probably underground.
How old are you?
12? 17?
Like... young.
They lived to what, about 50?
Yeah.
So
I've been dead for at least your entire lifetime. I do believe there was a life between ours, but they never amounted to anything.
Loser.
We are the best.
It's more of a case that they never tried to figure out who they were. They just lived their life. Didn't do anything.
Loser.
The frog ate flies. Didn't give a shit.
Did you hear any rumors of the elbows?
I heard many rumours and I followed many of the rumours, but these are the only ones I ever encountered.
Where else is the frog?
Was.
The frog lived in an area known as Rowan Bay.
Do I know where that is?
You don't even know what he's talking about.
He knows where that is.
I do?
Your granddad
Roll a
told you
history.
about a play.
You can
one
roll a
time.
history for that. Yeah.
See if I do actually know that or recall that from a map.
You said frog, right?
Frog, toad.
No, there's a
Amphibian.
distinct...
The what have you?
There is a distinct difference.
The amphibian.
Oh, fuck you.
The water.
No, sometimes don't like water. Fucking pick one.
That's a fair point.
It's a forever changing toad frog.
15.
No, fuck you.
I'm sorry, but as meta, that's actually bang on the money.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, okay, I didn't actually know that. Forever changing toad frog.
What was your...
So that kind of applies more for
That was 100% a
tortoise
guess.
and turtles.
It was just me fucking around.
You remember when Johnny's name was revealed, that it was also revealed that his parents ran into Theedom in Rowan Bay.
Oh, right. You're gonna ask me and I'll be like, what do you want to know? I don't give a shit. I'm like really insightful, but nobody ever
Where
asks.
to?
While communicating with Gary at the moment, you haven't realised that your library's slowly been sort of vanishing around you.
Creepy. Okay.
Like your concentration is slowly disappearing. He looks like he's sort of watched this happen behind you, but has realised you need to...
He's de-digitizing.
My eyes shift like, what's he looking at? Okay. And you don't know of any of them being in danger at the moment?
At your present time and moment, no.
No.
I only know of my own history and what we've witnessed together.
Don't mind us.
Easier said than done.
I've been keeping pretty quiet this whole time.
You're very loud with your actions, just by the way. Okay.
That's been lovely.
Inferno.
So, we've saved the birds. The bird's probably alright for them now. We should check on the toad. We should do some research to find out where the bear, the mole, the porcupine? Or hedgehog? Or constantly shifting like Toad Frog?
The image of the bear that you've seen is actually found.
Frog, bear, mole, slime.
He had to say that to you. The amount of times he
No,
said bear.
I'm just like,
Frog. Sorry, just to make sure. Frog, bear, mole, slime, bird.
Mole. Missing
How
mole.
many are there?
Six.
We just
Yeah, you're missing mole.
I already said mole.
You did say mole?
mole, hedgehog,
Frog,
Oh,
hedgehog.
I hate
porcupine.
Porcupine.
That's the one you were saying.
Porcupine. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm like, stare at the bear for a minute.
Also, mole and porcupine, they're literally brothers.
That's a toad and a frog.
Yeah, but that's one, you fuckwit. I'm mad
Okay.
at gods for lots
So
of
I need to
reasons.
do research on those three.
I mean,
To figure out where those three are.
like a bird.
Yeah, I'm fucking
Referencing
furious
the
about
moles.
this.
Gary's slowly vanishing in front of you.
Okay, thank you, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
As you look up to say that to him, he's not there anymore.
Okay.
And you realise that you're actually waking up in your cabin, and you're like, okay, buddy, talk to you later.
The fuck?
You realise that your ceiling says, it's Goblin. I thought it was your favourite colour.
Says what?
This isn't a color, dumbass.
And it's right under it. It is to me. Smiley face.
No, a plank of wood falls off to reveal it says this to me.
It's a color to me.
I wallpaper just curls up. That's a really
There's a
elaborate
name
joke.
for it. Twitch, twitch, twitch.
And that's what we're in it there. Goodbye, y'all. The chaos and everything. As I have to go over a few things. Till next time. Bye.